Well, too late now because we're live, and welcome to another episode of 6 and 20 Metropolis. Are you going to do that at the beginning of every episode now? All right, well, at least Mick Loken's in the audience watching for you. And here we are. This is episode 3 of 6 and 20 Metropolis, the Tuesday crew, who now needs to choose a name because it looks like everybody else is choosing a name. So, mist full of doozies. Okay, so we're just going to call you the Doozies for short then, right? All right. I don't know either. I'm just kind of hanging out here. Oh, really? All right. Can I start the show now, guys? Are you sure? Are you sure? Because I would... All right. So let's get started and have everybody introduce themselves around the table. This week, we will start with that salty ginger, Lauren.
Yeah, the way she looks, she's 27, but oddly, she really doesn't look a day over 18. She has very perfect olive skin, feathery, thick black hair, big brown eyes with gold flecks in them. And if she were inclined to show you, there would be some interesting scars on her, but she is not. She likes to hide that away. And she is so excited to see what's about to happen as she and some chick are surrounded by gang members. But we're protected. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Are you sure it's going to be fine?
I am, Johnny. I am.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, with that, we're going to drop down to Alex.
How's it going? My name's Alex, also known as Zippy Zippo. I'm playing Henry. Henry is a 25-year-old med student ready to get graduate. He has curly, dirty, not blonde, but it's on the cusp of being brown, dirty blonde. He has vivid green eyes. And he likes to wear scrubs and no shoes. He sees his friend Roslyn, or who he assumes is his friend. He's not, appropriating that. He sees Roslyn in trouble, and as his heart rate increases, his green eyes start to have a bit of a red halo go around the people.
Did this just get interesting and weird all at the same time?
I don't know. What's so weird about it?
I don't know. What is weird about it? I'm just... All right. So next up, let's go with Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam, also known as Harley's Armory. I'm playing a character named Charlie. She is blind and likes to fight people in her spare time. All
right. Well, last but not least, Belinda.
Hey, I'm Belinda. I'm playing Sethana. Nailed it. I'm sorry. Do you need it a little bit?
No, I mean, if that's what you, that's where you're going, that's where you're going with it. Awesome. I mean,
short and sweet. Let's play.
Yeah, all right, right, fine, whatever. All right. So before we get started, a couple things. First and foremost, We are still not back on the dedicated streaming rig, but we do have the chat box back, so I can do things like this in chat. Let's see if it actually works. And the 6 and 20 command did not work.
No.
Yay! All right, good job. Anyways, I'll see about fixing that as we get along. So this is 6 and 20. If you don't know what you're into for, this is 3 shows taking place in the exact same setting. We're playing City of Mist. We call it 6 and 20 Metropolis. This is the Tuesday show. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to set up beforehand, and because the bot isn't working, I'm a little stressed out about that. So I'm just going to get started. Previously on City of Mist, 6 and 20 Metropolis. Nailed it. The groups, the crew had separated into 2 groups. We had Roz and Charlie and Sethana meeting up at Xanadu, while Henry was doing a little bit of investigating on his own after getting released from the incident that was at the public library. The crew does a little bit of searching around, kind of figuring out what the situation is at the scene. It looks like Henry discovers something very unusual, an unusual set of footsteps, and is also being observed. He contacts Sethana after discovering that the person who was observing him is escaping in a MC. We said MCX, right? I think that was what we're calling it now.
Yep.
Yeah, we shortened to MCX, yeah.
Yeah, MCX. An MCX vehicle, which is the company that Sethana works for, escaping the scene. While we discovered that Roz is quite the investigator and causes a little bit of a ruckus at Xanadu while she's investigating as people begin to panic looking for Megan. Group comes back together. They track down the source of the footsteps, or they follow the source of the footsteps into an abandoned building. Right prior to that, Henry decides that he's going to cause a huge distraction by flipping a van, which was pretty damn cool. Once inside a building, they discover the trail kind of leading them into sort of out a door and then out into towards a commercial district. It is then that the group kind of splits up a little bit as Sethana gets called into work to deal with a particular problem. There, she discovers somebody is actually committing some industrial espionage, and she basically puts down the law. She grabs this guy, puts him into a position, and gets him to admit that he is working for an organization by the name of Chow Industries, who is the reason that she is in the office, and she is attempting to address some contractual issues, and it discovers this particular person committing some industrial espionage surrounding that contract. She eventually lets this particular person go, but not before instilling the fear of Sethana in him. On the other side of the city, Roz, Charlie, and Henry are tracking the footsteps into a commercial area, sort of like in a commercial, sort of entertainment district, and find themselves following a young woman, not much older than Charlie's age, who seems to be talking to somebody randomly who appears to be invisible. They track her across this entertainment complex, get to the other side, discover that she's also being followed by a bunch of gang members, and next thing we know, the gang members move in to attack. As Charlie, Henry, and Roz move in to give some aid, something unusual happens. The car that a couple of these gang members kind of pull around a corner and just kind of surprise this young woman, smashes down in the center, almost into like a V shape, and this thing turns around and kind of looks back at everybody, and just it's this gigantic green 12-foot monstrosity of some kind. And that's where we fade in. Roz, you're on the ground level. You're right behind this girl. How are you acting?
I had thrown the barrier up.
You had thrown the barrier up to protect her and whatever this thing was, and this thing moved forward and kind of smashed the car.
And the alley cats are like bumping up against it. They can't seem to get through.
They can't seem to get through your barrier to you and the girl, but the thing, the giant has moved beyond that.
That's fine. I'm really okay with that.
Are you sure? Really? I need you to tell me if it. Are you sure?
Are you done, Johnny?
No.
So, the thing that I want to do is
No.
while we are barricaded, essentially, is talk to her, like try to figure out in this moment what's going on. And I see that happening, and I think I know what that is. And I see them bumping up, and this is going to escalate unless we can bring it down a notch. So I'm going to ask her. I'm just going to start rattling off things. Who are you? Why are they after you? What were you doing near the library tonight? I know she was inside the library, so I might even say that.
So, in this moment,
Yeah.
this sounds like almost like an investigation, or you're going to convince her to start cooperating, given the circumstance.
Be with us so we can help you and eventually get some information. But I want her to be very aware that we're with her and we're trying. Well, at least I am, because I think I'm the only one she can see. That I'm trying to help her.
Okay, so that tells me, that this sounds like a convince. You've got this moment, you've got this barrier up. Whatever's with her is outside of it. Mm-hmm. Sounds like it's definitely a convince roll to me, or a convince move. All right, so what power tags do you think kind of flow into this?
Okay, so I think persuasive aura.
Okay.
And I wonder if former celebrity would be helpful in the fact of like dealing with heightened moments and being able to pull attention anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it is going to play into this particular case.
Okay.
Are you basing this though on the fact that it's a young woman, just a little bit, a couple years younger than you? That she would know your celebrity status?
Not necessarily what I was thinking, because she is pretty young. So it was more just like being able to distract her from a bunch of dudes running into an invisible wall and like pay attention to me here with you.
Okay, fair enough.
So that's the idea.
All right, then go for it. Roll it.
Okay. Nope, not that, and that, and that. Okay, let's do this.
No. Wow. Great success.
Wow.
Okay. So, great success in this particular case with Convince. There are one of two things that you can do, right?
Yeah.
As explained by the move sheet. The first thing is you can create a tier status based on that power, or based on the amount of power tags that you've used. And that will apply in the situation, and then in moving forward in additional rolls. Mm-hmm. Or you can change her agenda to match yours for the time being. It would be sort of like a temporary story tag.
Right.
And then
I think I like the first one, and I'm wondering if trusts me is tier 2.
Okay. Trust me, tier 2 or status 2, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you kind of look at her and you convey all of this, and she kind of looks back at you like, why are you asking these questions right now? We're clearly getting attacked.
You're gonna be fine. I've got you. We know where you were tonight.
Have you seen that thing? Of course I'm gonna be fine. And she points up to the big giant thing as it begins to bash one alley cat essentially out of the way. Just kind of knocks it about 10 feet back and onto the ground.
Can you make it maybe not squish more people, though?
He's kind of
Well,
protecting me right now as he swings
Sure.
and knocks another one away.
Yeah, but maybe, murder isn't great.
Nobody's murdering anybody. He's just clearing a path so he can get out of here. I don't know who you are, but clearly you. And she gets frustrated. She's like, "Can we just take care of these guys first, then we'll talk later?" And she
Sure.
And she moves forward as he bashes another one. Cut to Charlie and Henry, kind of, on some rooftops, a couple stories up, kind of looking down, and this is what you see.
Henry would jump from the rooftop towards the street below, and when he lands, he's going to create a giant briar wall that pushes out between the, for lack of a better word, golem and the alley cats to kind of like separate them. While he's trying to separate them so he can talk to them and be like, there's no need for violence. Just everyone needs to calm down before this gets a little too out of hand.
Okay, so in this particular case, it sounds like there's two distinct things that you're doing. You're jumping 3 stories down.
Yep.
And then you're creating a barrier. Are you jumping into that barrier and landing in that barrier, or are these two separate actions really?
I'm not going to be in the barrier. I'm pushing. It's more of like a wall, like a thick wall.
Okay.
That separates the alley cats from the golem.
Okay. All right. So with that in mind, then, you're jumping 3 stories down. This is the first time I think you're doing something like this. So I think there needs to be some sort of rule of some kind here to illustrate that.
Yep.
What is that? Is that taking a risk?
I feel like that is taking a risk because it's a gut reaction.
Okay.
He sees one of his friends in danger, so he's jumping to their aid.
Okay. All right. So
he's not one to get into go to violence, but he is someone who would at least try to separate the two parties involved.
Right. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's roll that take a risk first. Okay. What power tags apply here?
Obstacles.
Okay.
Briar defense. Because it's going to be a wall. It's kind of shielding each party away from the other.
Okay. Well, so hold on a second. So I mean that's why I just want to clarify again. You're jumping 3 stories down and you're jumping into the briar patch then, because if that's the question was it 1 action or 2 actions? Because if it's 2 actions, then briar patch definitely doesn't apply to you jumping the 3 stories down and taking that risk. If you are, then that sounds like a change the game, or even potentially taking a risk as well. But you can definitely apply that. I'm trying to find a way to make sure that power tag applies to the appropriate situation.
All right, I think we could go for a change the game.
Okay.
I feel like I'm calling the vines and the roots as I'm coming down to the ground and I'm responding. So if that's easier, we'll just do that. Yeah,
because that then applies to both actions, right? You can create the barrier, the vines come up, and you can make your descent down at the same time. So again, it sounds like Briar Patch applies, or Briar Wall applies. What was the other power tags that you wanted to apply to this?
Obstacles, Briar Defense, and Ebb and Flow.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to weave the wall in between the golem and the alley cats, and I'm not trying to harm them. So I'm trying to do this in the sense that it's going to cause least resistance on both.
Okay. Seasonal atrophy doesn't apply. Pacifism is definitely happening here a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I will take I'll take the weakness tag on that.
Okay. So pacifism. So that's what, 3 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
3 minus 1. So okay. So roll a 2 and go for it. All right.
Mild success.
Mild success. So you get juice to spend And you get you can do the top ones there, I believe, or the top 3 there, right? Create a story tag, burn a power tag, or a story tag, give or reduce a status.
I'm going to create new objects.
So the barrier.
The barrier.
Okay.
Inflict a status. Tier 1 can be chosen multiple times. The increase by what? I want to say. I want to add the status impeded.
Okay. To all of the alley cats around.
Alley cats and the golem.
Okay.
Now the golem might be able to just break through the wall because it is huge, but a normal person probably wouldn't be able to bust these roots.
Okay. So you're coming down, right? You're jumping down, and you. What does it look like? What is it? What is this? Is there a flourish to this when you move? How does this look when you do this?
He starts running to the edge, and he kind of like Olympic dives off, like he is diving into a pool. And as he's heading towards the ground, he outstretches his hand, and it's as if the vines are once again coming up to grasp his hand, like more of like a "I got you" kind of deal. And as he lands on the ground, it kind of explodes into this giant rippling wall of vines, and it kind of just they weave into each other, tighten, weave into each other again, start doing like a nice tight knit wall, kind of like a bulletproof vest, how it's like very tight knit fibers and stuff, but it giant roots and vines.
Awesome. And so as this is happening and this barrier begins to form, you can see that the barrier kind of forms through the giant as he is incorporeal. And so he just kind of moves through towards one of the other alley cats that hasn't been knocked over, right? So there have been 3 that have been knocked down so far, and he's moving towards another one to kind of knock it out of the way. As you see Roz and the young woman just having a quick conversation as she's just kind of pointing, and Roz is just trying to to get her to cooperate in some way.
Are there still alley cats like?
No, now the alley cats are as the roots kind of grew up around, and grew through the giant. The other alley cats are like, they're kind of stepping back because I imagine that as a briar patch, it's kind of thorny, right?
Not when Henry's in this state.
Okay.
When Henry's in this state, the roots and the vines are very smooth. They're almost like just like the limbs of a tree.
Okay.
Now, if Henry was in another state of mind or whatever, these vines would have thorns that are as sharp as razor wire.
Okay.
Do they are they reaching like near where the barrier is? I just think it'd be cool if they started going up right there.
They would try to wrap themselves around, because this is supposed to be a very like defensive, very protective kind of ability that he's using. So they would start maybe cradling some of the alley cats that have fallen to the ground, maybe start going over the alley cats to give them, an extra layer of support if the giant came back to slam on it. It would be trying to restrain them as well, because they do have weapons.
All right, so that's the impeded effect as it's trying to restrain them, right? But you're right. In respect to Roz, as it kind of creeps up over the barrier just a little bit where they kind of meet together. So it's kind of an interesting effect, and so moving through into this situation, the alley cats are seeing this. They're not reacting necessarily to the thorns, but just to the barrier that's just kind of coming around as the vines are reaching out to them. And trying to kind of wrap their hands around to reduce their ability to use whatever weapon that they have. The giant moving sort of off to the left hand side of the barrier Charlie, where are you in all of this? What do you? How are you? You know, what are you? How are you going to do this? What are you reacting to? What's going on here?
I'm just kind of listening in to Roz and the girls' conversation and like hearing the vines be created.
I mean, for you, the visual would be you can.
Yeah, I could feel it.
Yeah, but where?
And
sorry, go ahead.
What's your question?
My question is, where are you in all of this? Are you still up on a rooftop? Or are you going to?
I'm still up on the roof right now. I'm waiting for someone to make a move because I don't want to go up against the golem.
Okay. All right. And so, Roz, this barrier's coming up. You see Henry kind of coming down. You see the giant kind of move off to the right to continue its assault on these things. What's your next move?
In terms of the alley cats that he's like pushing away, are they moving? Do they fall and not get up? What's going on with them?
So the thing that the giant, when it hits them,
yeah,
it hits them back 10 feet, and they're on the ground, and they're not unconscious, but they are definitely winded and having difficulty getting back up.
All right. I am, but there are still some that are active.
There are still 4 that are active, but
okay.
Now are behind the barrier, behind both barriers, right? You've got your barrier, your protection barrier, and then you've got Henry's, kind of briar patch just that has grown around and kind of pushing back. And those guys are a little distracted because the vines of the briar are kind of reaching out and trying to to grab onto their hands. But you see that the giant just kind of moves through this thing as if there's there's no impediment at all, and is going after another one who is clearly just trying to deal with the fact that as this briar continues to kind of grow, he's kind of pulling back and just trying to get the knife out of the in its knife hand out of the grasp of these briars. So he's currently struggling with that.
If there are active ones, I'm not dropping the barrier.
Okay.
So I am going to continue talking to her. I think they're plenty scared enough. All right. If they're not gonna get in here, I mean, obviously is that your friend? Is that what he is? It is. I don't want to assume.
It's complicated. What do you expect? Sure. In this city, it's always complicated.
It's gotten a lot more complicated tonight than I've ever seen it.
Wow. You really need to get out more then.
Nobody has ever said that to me. You are fascinating. I want to take you for a coffee, but...
Not right now.
No, I know. I know what's happening. I can see what's happening. Look, your friend, he hits really hard. Some of these guys, it might be useful if they can get up after this and there's not, 8 corpses lying here on the ground.
And you see another one get bashed off to the side. You want him to grab one, and immediately it turns and moves off to go towards another one. Is that what you want? I mean,
sure. A gentle grab would be super tight. And not super tight. I mean, like tight, like good. I don't know if you guys still say tight.
She kind of looks at you like, what the hell are you talking about? And the giant continues to move towards the other side. Henry, there are 3 on the other side of this bramble of yours, this briar of yours, as you're kind of coming into this. And you see that it has knocked another one and has turned, and you see a conversation that's still going on. Quick question for Henry's purposes. Charlie is going to be able to hear, given her ultra sensitivity and the vibrations that your voices are going to make as it reverberates off of things like the ground and that kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. Is your barrier going to impede Henry from hearing your conversation?
If is my barrier going to impede me from hearing?
No,
'Cause,
is her barrier going to impede you because she's got this essentially this protection barrier, this energy field of some kind. Her her essence, essentially, her protective essence.
I actually would like to argue that it might amplify that there are sound reverberating in the bubble because of the wood. Wood is an amplifier.
But your bramble, your briar isn't actually inside of the wood, all right? Because it's protecting. It's like it's
I put us
on
up against a wall. I don't. That's something that I haven't thought of. If it protects also in that way, I'd want to think more about it. But for now, just for something.
Okay.
For now, I'm gonna say it does not muffle us.
Okay, so I think set precedence right now, unless you specifically say it does.
Okay.
We're just going to assume that it doesn't.
Great, perfect. Because I always want to share as much information with my party as I can.
You say that now. So Henry, you hear this conversation as it's going on, as you're kind of coming into this.
I feel like Henry is not worried about the conversation. Like Henry is. He hears that there are voices, there are words being thrown out, but all he cares about is there's this giant monstrosity going after these very ill-intended armed rapscallions and whatnot. But he sees the giant move towards another one and he flings it. Henry is going to dive right in front of that thing, and as he does, as he dives, he's going to place a hand on the ground and kind of just like the briar patch, he's going to pull this long, tightly knit bow staff of his vines out of the ground, and he's going to take a stance and he's going to like kind of point the end towards where the giant's chest would be and say, all right, look, enough is enough. You're obviously throwing your weight around. This is not right. This is not fair. Let's just talk. Calm down. You're smart, right? You're obviously smart because you cleaved that car in two. You know, you're obviously protecting the child, right? Is that what you're doing?
All right. Is this a go toe to toe?
I feel like he's going toe to toe.
Okay.
And I'm going to do ebb and flow, briar weapon, evasive footwork, and then I'm going to call on pacifism as a weakness.
Okay.
Great success.
Okay. Wow. I am not clearly sure how to handle this situation just yet. Give me just a second to think about this.
All of
because
us are like,
sorry, go ahead.
Calm down. It's gonna be fine. All of us are very much about that in this group.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm kind of impressed that Charlie's not down there, kind of
Well,
knocking some
I'm
heads.
watching right now. I don't want to piss off a golem.
I'm okay with being doing a compromise where that I'll do a compromise where I take the golem's ire. The golem is after me now because it might see me as a more significant threat.
Does she command it though, and is she in charge of what it does?
She is in charge of what it does.
Yeah, that's what I.
So its reaction here is a little bit robotic in some ways. So you have two power tags that applied here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you get two choices. You get to choose two of these things that happen, right? Actually, no.
Mm-hmm.
Your opponent describes how they blah blah blah. It's coming full force to you. You're standing in front of it. You're talking to it, and you're imposing yourself. All right. So you succeed in this particular case. I need you to tell me what two things that you want to do here. Do you want to convince it to stop? Do you want to inflict some sort of status on it? Or do you want
it,
to impede it in some way?
I'm gonna flick the status of targeted. I want him to come after me. I don't want him to go after anyone else because obviously this is a creature of supernatural means. These are just normies. I'm still maybe roughly new with this whole, power thing. I've had my powers, but I've never met anyone else with powers. But I do know that these guys are vastly outmatched when it comes to something like this.
Okay.
So I want maybe I have its attention.
Okay.
Or something.
So you've got more than attention. I think targeting makes sense here, right? So it's going to be targeted status level 2 or status tier 2.
Mm-hmm. And I guess counter in the sense that if it was going to grab one of the alley cats, Henry would just snap it with the bow staff.
Okay.
Kind of like a whack on the hand, like, no, that's not right. Nope. Bad golem.
Okay, so targeted tier status 2, and you're going to inflict another status on it of like. Because if you're hitting it, and you're like you're giving it bad. You're saying bad golem. What is that? What is the effect of that?
I'm reprimanding it. I'm reprimanding it.
High fives.
I'm like.
Right, but
so,
but how does what I'm trying to get to is
because because this is it's semi-sentient, right? But it's being controlled.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out, okay, maybe allied. I'm going to inflict the status maybe on the alley cats. As in, how about allied in the sense that the golem now perceives me as one of the alley cats?
Okay, but that's also implying targeted, right?
Yeah.
So, right. So again, just to kind of clarify.
Yeah. See, I have two juice and manage to reach your goal, take something they hold that's not really relevant. I'm going to, I'm willing to forego the second one. Just inflict the one status. Unless somebody else has. I'm going to open up to the table.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hey, I had a suggestion since you were able to hear some of what we were talking about and you know that he's not going to punch. Maybe it's like a status of calmed or gentle or careful. Like in that, because he was going to grab someone. So unless you wanted him to just stop completely, which I don't know if it's possible, you could make him be more careful somehow.
So targeted, how about impede again? I'll put impede on the golem again. I'm in its way.
It's not impeded.
It's not impeded?
It's not impeded because
it's incorporeal.
It's incorporeal. So
but doesn't it have to become corporeal to grab? No. It just flings people about incorporeally? Okay. Anyone else?
Like the barrier does. When people hit it, it's not
physical, but it is there, right? It does repel.
And then
could you put a status on her?
On her?
Yeah. I mean, she's seeing that you've managed to like get it to stop chasing or get it to deliberately chase you. Maybe you can make her interested in you. So put targeted on you or from her as well.
I guess I could. Would I be able to do that, Johnny?
They are linked.
Sure, why not? So we'll call that targeted status 2 or tier 2 on.
Because I was thanks Sathana. Because I was only thinking it's like very small picture, like I'm going up against this golem. I wasn't thinking I could throw the status on the girl.
Yeah, so, I mean they're linked. They are intrinsically linked with one another. So it would make sense that if they're linked, maybe she can hear or see through him. So either way, you would get her interest if you've got.
Yeah, because she doesn't know that I'm Rosalind's friend.
No.
I'm just some guy who came to the aid of the alley cats for
Right,
trying
and
to
it's all
kidnap
going
her.
to the same goal of like stop murdering the
Mhm.
alley cats. So I think it all
So-
works together.
Yeah, so I'm gonna throw targeted on her.
Okay, so targeted tier 2 on her. She is now focused on you. Targeted tier 2 on the giant. It's now focused on you. I'm going to give you one last opportunity to change one of those. Because if you don't choose block, dodge, or counter their best attempts, he's going to throw a status on you, and then you're going to have to face danger. Because just so you know, read the last one. You block, dodge, counter their best attempts. If you don't choose this in a toe-to-toe, they will inflict a status on you, or they can inflict a status on you. And he's going to.
You know what? I'm interested.
Okay.
I'm interested.
All right.
So we're not changing it.
All right. I'm
Devil's
all for
advocate.
I'm all
I
for the
love it.
experiments. Go
I
ahead.
love it. I love it.
Okay. So he's going to come in, and she's going to recognize that something is different going on. You hear a gasp from her, Roz, as this thing just kind of focuses in on Henry, and then she kind of focuses in on Henry, and it basically just comes up and pushes him.
Henry.
Now, I'd like you to face danger here.
Okay, I'll face danger. Is that a macro or how
Face
would
danger
I-
should be one of your macro buttons on the
investigate, convince, hit me with all you got? Oh, face danger right there. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't get to put any power tags on this.
You get to pay. You of course get to apply power tags.
I would highly recommend
Mhm.
placing.
I feel like I'm going to face the danger. I'm going to throw Briar Defense.
Absolutely! It's absolutely going to apply because it's in the middle of the briar still as it's coming at you.
The Briar will rush up and around my chest,
Okay.
kind of forming like a pure basic armor chest piece kind of deal. And it's going to, I'm going to apply obstacles, and it's going to root me to the ground as well. As it comes up, it's going to wrap around my legs and kind of physically, like a plant, root me to the ground.
Okay. So that's briar defense. What else? What other power tags apply here?
Obstacle, not moving, so it's not a face of footwork. I want to say ebb and flow because it takes a quick reaction to be able to call the briar like that, and I'm watching for its movements.
Okay. All right. So what is that? That's
3.
3, and I don't think pacifism really applies here because since you made sure
I'm
to
not
have him targeting-
attacking.
Well, no, but it's
Yeah.
also you made sure that he's targeting you, so you're
Yeah.
intentionally taking the brunt of this. All right, so go ahead and roll it.
Mild success.
Success.
I will
Okay.
take.
So you're gonna take a tier 2 status.
It'll become tier 1.
No, it was tier 3.
Oh, okay.
God.
Oh.
And just for your awareness, I'm actually reducing that from a tier 4.
Okay.
So you're going to take a tier 2 status of, let's see, in his case, it is called Barely Standing.
Guys, we're learning.
And it basically just kind of pushes you, and you take it, and you take the hit, and like the pressure comes against you on your chest where the thing is like hitting you. And you're definitely moved, even as your briar is trying to kind of like hold on to you, and you're just kind of like pushed back. But it's moving. It's still continuing to move, and you're just kind of forcing, this resistance with your briar and everything else, and it hits you, and you do that movement back, but it's now like pushed against you. It's wedged against you in some way as it's trying to press more, right? And so you take that barely standing too, but you're still there, giving you an opportunity to do something else, or somebody else can jump in.
At this point, he has me up against a wall, basically.
Well, he doesn't have you up against the wall, right?
He has me against my own roots.
Right, your roots are holding you there, and he's kind of like he can't move past you as he's trying to push through you, right? You take damage, you take the status, but he still can't move through you at this point, right?
I feel like the red halo in Henry's eyes starts to glow a little bit brighter as his heart rate increases. And he's like, look, I will not be held accountable for my actions if you continue doing this.
He's still kind of pressing against you at this point, and you can see that the anger is growing on this thing's face as it's frustrated. Roz, you gonna step in?
Yeah. Seeing this and seeing Henry get pushed like this and seeing the impact of it, I'm just looking at her. I've pieced this together now, how I think their relationship works in some way. He's with me. He's not one of them. He was just trying to help because your friend really is really strong. I'm just like, I'm gonna like touch her hand. Can you just tell him to stop? The danger is pretty much over. Just tell him to stop, please.
So there's a little bit of conflict here in the statuses, right? Both her and the giant have targeted tiers 2 status, focusing on Henry. There is a competing trust me status of tier 2 for you. I feel that this requires another convince roll of some kind, or maybe a change the game roll depending upon how you want to play this. But that trust me is going to apply as a part of the power tag for your roll. So
that's good.
Which do you think makes more sense here?
I think that's right. Maybe it's changed the game. Because at this point, I need to give, I guess in a way it's kind of giving Henry an advantage. I mean, I would go either way. I would go either convince or change the game.
Well, so I think to me the question, and this is why I think both apply. The question is whether you are trying to convince her to stop, or you're trying to give Henry the time to be able to take whatever the next action is.
I want to convince her to stop.
Okay, then it sounds like a convince roll.
Okay.
Power tag you're going to get a +2 because of the trust me tag.
Right. Which is already used. Persuasive Aura and Former Celebrity, so I won't invoke those again.
You are more than welcome to continue to invoke those because that status does apply. And you can still run with those power tags. So that's going to be 4. Is there anything else power tag wise that you think applies here?
I was thinking I would try to add either luck or font of inspiration, either one. I don't know that both, but like help give her an idea how to resolve this that maybe she hadn't thought of before, I think that makes actually more sense of the two. Or reverse effects. Some stuff in here, I think. Reverse effects, and it reverses the targeting. But I also like inspiration. I'm.
You're gonna go with inspiration?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I'd like to give her a chance to stop it herself.
Okay.
Okay.
That works.
Convince. Great success.
All right.
Woo!
So, with that great success, and you can do one of two things. You can again inflict another status tag on her. You can increase the status tag of Trust Me to tier 3, or you can change her agenda such that it matches yours for a time being. Basically like a temporary story tag kind of a situation.
Can I open it to the table? How does everyone feel? Do we want it to just stop? Is it better to get her more on our side at this point? Or just do the thing that we want, which is stop hurting people. That sounds...
Is stopping the alley cats going to put yourselves in danger?
Oh, you mean it's not stopping them going to put us in danger? They can't get through to us right now.
I could take them.
Yeah, and Charlie could take them.
I'm just waiting for my, the right moment. I think we should make her trust us, because if it's her decision versus just like an immediate stop.
Yeah, I like that. All right. So would Allied be tier 3, or is that too extreme?
Nope.
Okay, great. Allied. And at this point, Roz is channeling a lot of energy. So it's like, again, it's not necessarily visible at this point because it's not doing something.
You're still vibrating.
Yeah, no, I'm vibrating like crazy. That's what I mean, is like the energy is like all in this barrier swirling around her.
Right.
Her eyes are golder than usual. Like everything is just more vibrant than it was previously.
Right. And so for Charlie, who's still kind of just assessing the situation from a distance, you begin to see that there are a couple of people, a small group, 3 or 4 individuals who are noticing what's going on and are starting to head that direction.
Like random people, or...
Yeah, like it just seems they seem to have noticed what's going on over there, and they're starting to be pulled in by the effect that is Rosalind, right? Her energy is attracting them. Her inspiration, her what she is
magnetism.
Magnetism is great. It's starting to bring them in. So you see a couple of people kind of begin to move that direction. And so as you're dealing with this, Henry, you're kind of like, you're feeling the press, and this thing is getting more frustrated. You see an exchange happen between Roz and the young woman as you see that the hands just kind of pull back, and he kind of starts to move. He begins to move towards you, off to your right, beginning to reach out for one of the alley cats behind you, as they are still kind of struggling but beginning to recover. And one of them is starting to point a gun in your direction.
I turn, the roots retracted. Now the roots have climbed up my legs, and they kind of have created like briar greaves and whatnot, just so they can lock into the ground on command.
Okay.
He takes the staff and he points it towards the alley cat with the gun, and he's like, "You will drop that weapon before this thing kills you. If you don't, I will not be held responsible for what actions I take." And I feel like that's more of a face danger, because he's talking to a man with a gun, obviously
Pointed
about
directly
to
at
fire.
him. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So just so you know, let me just kind of clarify the scene a little bit. The one pointing a gun at you, it's beginning to raise a gun at you, is a separate one than the one that the giant is beginning to kind of move towards and reaching his hand.
He's pointing a gun at me, not the golem.
Yes, pointing a gun at you. As the giant moves this way, the thing, this guy kind of turns around, realizes that you have something to do with the briar. He's pointing a gun at you.
Can I intervene and jump down and smack the gun out of his hand?
Sure. Sounds like it's take a risk.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
And just for the sake, I feel like Henry is looking at the guy with the gun and still says the same thing. Charlie jumps down.
I assume that was the case. I was just clarifying because...
Yeah, no, I'm glad, because I'm thinking this guy's pointing it at something that he can't see.
All right.
Okay.
So in take a risk, it's going to be outgun, agility, martial arts, perfect short range target. Yeah, I think that's it.
You said, wait a minute. You said perfect short range target.
Outgoing agility.
Outgoing,
Martial.
and your martial arts. So that's going to be 3, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I know these streets would help because it would help me get down there faster.
Sure. You would definitely have the ability, like if you saw that there was like a drain pipe or something, right? You could do the shimmy down and just kind of throw yourself off the building. However, I am going to invoke the ignores danger tag here.
Okay, so
the
that's
weakness
still
tag.
3.
So it's still 3.
Roll well, please.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Wait, your power wasn't applied.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. I put 3 positive. This is.
It's not there.
It's not
I know.
there. So
So
Let me
why?
try to do it the.
don't worry about it for now. It's fine because you would have gotten a 9, and that would be a mild success in this particular case.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I don't know why that. Like I rolled it. I put 3 positives. That's weird.
yeah, we'll figure that out later. That's no big deal.
Okay.
All right. So so you take a risk. You get down there, and you set us up. What happens when you kind of land on this guy?
Well, I'm not gonna land on him. I would probably get out behind or kind of to the side of him and smack his wrist with my cane.
Okay, so you
Make him drop the gun.
all right. Well, you shimmy. You do this whole like activity of jumping down, right? And you do the whole superhero probably sort of landing. And you come in with your cane. Now, with that, to disarm him, that seems like a change the game.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and have you roll that. And I think almost every power tag applies still, except for Know These Streets.
Yeah.
And I don't think your weakness tag applies here either.
Yeah.
But she can't be afraid of gun if she can't see it. It goes off the psychology that if you're going to rob a bank and somebody points a gun at you, now you got to take the risk of, is that gun loaded and they're using it as a fear tactic, or is it loaded?
Well, technically, she is playing this like Daredevil, and she would definitely know if the gun was loaded because she would hear
she'd be able to hear it.
Yeah.
But, like, I was going like, she can't see the gun, she can't be afraid of it.
Yep, totally. All right, so that sounds like it's change the game with a +3 for your power.
Yeah. Yes.
Roll it.
I'm trying.
Thank you. Roll 20.
11.
Nice. Great success. Okay. Let me make sure that that's visible on... Whoa, hold on, guys. Hold on. Shit, sorry about that. Had a little problem there. Okay. So, this is a change the game. You get to choose... you get 3 juice based on your power tag, plus another 1 because there's a minimum of 2 on a 10+ roll. So you got a great success.
So I get 3 juice plus 1.
3 juice plus 1. So you get 4 juice altogether.
I have 2 just chilling.
You can still apply those as well, right?
Okay.
And again, create a story tag. Burn a power tag or a story tag. Give or reduce a status to this guy. You can scale up an effect, maybe have a much larger effect on the other 3 alley cats that are also involved, right? You can prolong the effect.
So I'm going to at least knock out the gun out of his hand. So I guess that's inflict a status, right?
Okay, so disarmed.
Yeah.
What? That's going to be 1 point. Give a reduced stat. Give blah blah blah. Yeah, we're gonna call that disarmed.
Okay.
Disarmed to 1. All right.
And I'm going to. I want to knock him out.
All right. So basically, you're gonna hit him with the cane to knock the gun out of his hand, and then knock him out as well.
Deck him.
Okay. All right. That would, to inflict that level of a status, that would probably. Scale up the effect.
What's the what is the maximum tier that you can go to?
Well, in this particular case, he's got a status of 3. So if she wants to spend 3 juice on that, I think you can definitely knock him out.
Yeah, I'd feel like it would be in stages. Like tier 1 would be concussed, and then tier 3 would be knocked out.
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely knock him out. So I'll use my other 3 juices for that, I guess.
Okay.
And then I have 2 juices left from last time. So I'd probably want to cause an effect on the other alley cats that like they're maybe scared or nervous or like
Intimidated.
Yeah.
So
that's the word.
Okay, so you can inflict an intimidated status on one of them. You can increase that with 1 juice. You can increase that effect to all of them by spending another juice, so that will cost you your 2 juice altogether.
Yes.
And so they're all intimidated now. One guy's knocked out. Okay. All right. So
and I'm just gonna, drag his body. I'm gonna drag his body to his friends.
Okay. Well, so
that's how I'm gonna intimidate him. 2
of them are starting to shake, and they're kind of looking at you as they do this. Henry, you see that this has happened. As she just kind of jumps down, whacks the guy's, the gun on the guy's hand, whacks the guy again. He goes down. She grabs him. You see the giant kind of reach out for the 4th guy, and just kind of pick him up, and turn and begin to carry him over the bramble towards the barrier, and try to put him through the barrier, but just it's not happening. And the young woman's like, hold on. Are we safe now? Can we put down this thing?
I think almost. They're still so 2 of them are kind of shaking in their boots at Charlie right now.
She's dragging a 3rd who is unconscious.
Right. It's got one who's pushing it against the double barriers. Henry's okay. I don't like that they're still awake. So let's just wait. Make sure my friends can make sure they don't have any more weapons before we drop this.
Okay.
If he can just stay still and not smush our new friend.
Kind of picks it up and holds it up, up high like that. And this guy is like dangling and kind of freaking out at being, hung, at least 15 feet up in the air. And she's like, well, better have them take care of that then. I mean, I don't have all day.
Yeah, no, it's midnight, so no.
Henry would look at the 2 that are. There's only just 2 left.
And they're kind of freaking out as they're watching Charlie drag the 3rd one, just kind of pulling, this body, and it's Charlie. It's this tall, this young, woman, 17 years old, kind of just like looking very tough.
I'm 18. Thank you very much.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
And I'm not tall. I'm like 5'3".
Even more intimidating.
That's true.
I look at the 2 and I say, I just saved your lives. You will pull out your guns. You will unload them, drop the magazines on the floor, or I will not be responsible for my actions.
You don't have to. They just, instead of guns, they drop a couple of knives. Hey man, we're good, and they take off.
And I stop. I say, Did I say you could leave?
They take off.
Briar wall right in front of them.
Do it. Change the game.
So change the game. Obstacles, and I think that's the only power tag that applies.
These guys have impeded and intimidated.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of cancels each other out. But if they had just the intimidated, they would add a negative because they're scared shitless and they're running.
Well,
so
mild success. I'm gonna up their impeded up to tier 2.
All right, so they're tangled, and they're now the briar patch kind of comes up and just kind of entangles them, and they both kind of trip over and fall. And they're trying to get away, but they realize they can't get through, around the briar patch. They're just trying to pull themselves out. So
I walk up to them and I said, I didn't say you could leave. And then I put my hands on them and I start feeling around. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your pain?
You some kind of crazy?
No, I'm a med student. On a scale of 1 to 10.
I'm not talking to you. God.
And I said,
Go ahead.
look, I saved you from that giant creature. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your pain? Or I can call that thing back.
Just no. And they're still trying to pull themselves out of this, and they're just not responding to your attempts to be nice to them.
Can I
Henry,
help?
we might need to get out of here soon. Noticing people coming.
Yes, as there is another group of 5 beginning to move that direction, and they're kind of loitering and kind of watching what's going on.
I take the bow staff and I'm like, I'm really sorry about this. Don't take this the wrong way, but you guys are going to have to go to sleep right now. And he goes to smack both of them with one strike, kind of like smack one and then follow through and smack the other one with his bow staff to knock him out. Briar weapon, ebb and flow because we're in a fight. And I want to call on med student because I'm trying to do this for their own good.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
How is it for their own good?
Because if they continue to struggle, they're going to hurt themselves.
But your briar doesn't have any thorns right now?
But it's wrapped around their wrists, and they could dislocate a wrist or their shoulder or their leg or their knees. You can dislocate your knees.
Okay. All right. I mean, I just wanted to be clear about this because it seemed like an odd use of med student, but okay. All right, go for it.
Well, I mean, you could say he's trying to knock them out without hurting them. Really.
Yeah,
He's a med student.
You justify it however you want there.
I will.
I know you will. That's the funny thing.
I'm going to hit him with all I got.
All right.
Great success.
Oh, yeah, and they're out.
Yeah.
They're both out, right?
And then I turn to the crowd, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is our rendition of the Pirates of Penzance.
Oh God.
All right, I'm sorry. That felt incredibly random, but awesome. Good job. All right, so Roz, you begin to hear a little bit of noise kind of happening behind you as you witness Henry kind of knock out the final 2, right? And so this giant thing has got this thing holding up, and Charlie is dragging the fourth one kind of along the ground towards Henry. And the girl kind of looks around and she's like, "Who the hell are you people? What the hell's going on here? I can take care of myself. You realize that, right? I've got him."
Oh, no. We know. How about we get out of here and we can just chat real quick? For some reason, I have Gilbert and Sullivan lyrics stuck in my head, and that's all I'm thinking about while we're standing here. So we should move.
Gilbert and Sullivan? Who the hell are they?
I am the very model of a modern major general. Come on, let's go. I dropped the barrier.
And as you drop the barrier, the guy kind of comes down a little bit. She's like, "Well, hold on a second." And she looks at you and she's like, "Wait, you're a little familiar. Do I know you from somewhere?" Ah, no, maybe not.
I don't think so.
So where are we going?
I just have one of those faces.
Apparently, I've seen that smile before.
I never smile. Let's go. I'm Roz.
Well,
by the way.
where are we going? I mean,
is there an alley? I love alleys.
I would come up and I'd be like, "There's a diner right down this way. Let's go."
This is my friend Charlie. She's badass.
That's great, Charlie. That's not going to fit into a diner, and we clearly. He's going away soon. He's used up his.
The diner has really big ceilings and really big booths.
No, I don't think you understand. I'm not going to be able to carry that guy when he disappears.
Alleyway.
Henry walks up to her, then leave him outside and we'll talk inside. He'll watch the door.
That's a good idea. I'll buy you waffles. Do you like waffles?
Everybody likes waffles.
I hate waffles. I'm more of a pancake kind of guy.
Damn it.
Everyone likes
Henry.
waffles.
You know,
You
personally,
could put syrup in the little holes in the waffles. How do you not like waffles?
Because it gets messy.
she
because
starts
I-
walking. She starts walking towards the diner. She's like,
I'm
I
with
can't
her,
even be. I told you we should not have walked through there. And as it's just kind of walking with her, kind of carrying this thing. And as you look back, Roz, the group has started to grow. There's like 20 people, and they're starting to take pictures.
Great. Kid, can you make it look like the alley cat is walking? Can he make him look like it's like he's walking with us?
And then you hear a crash from behind them as there is a car accident. Everybody kind of turns around, starts running back that direction, and starts taking pictures.
Keep walking, keep walking, keep walking.
And we're going to cut to the diner. So who wants to describe the diner?
Probably.
Charlie's idea. She describes the diner.
Oh, God.
And I would have sent, as we were walking, I would have been sending Sethana crazy messages. Be like, we're here.
I think I remember putting you on mute.
You did.
Yeah, I'm getting none of them.
I'm
Getting absolutely none of them.
Oh, no.
I'll flip out my phone because I got one of them good old Verizon chocolates.
Yeah.
And I put it to my ear and I call Sethana.
And your phone starts
I have
ringing.
no idea I'd be at this point in the evening.
Well, you just this is not just a couple of minutes or not just 10 or 15 minutes after you taking down the
Would you still be
burglar.
at the MCX corporate
I think
building?
she would be recovering from that situation where she just pummeled somebody.
I think she would probably be finishing out the 3 emails she'd need to send.
Okay.
Basically all the same, copy and pasted. She's probably finishing that out at this point, so she probably is still just in the office on the way out. So.
Okay. So does that mean you pick up the phone when he's calling?
She lets it ring right until the moment voicemail kicks in, and then she'll pick it up.
Hey, Sethana, it's Henry. How you doing? How's everything?
Great. What can I do for you? Make it really snappy. I've got somewhere to
really
be.
snappy. Okay, we found this girl. She has a giant invisible golem, and we just fought off a legion of alley cats. No worries though. She's completely safe. We're completely safe, but we're gonna have to ask you to meet us at the Nifty 50s down on 4th.
How soon?
10 minutes ago.
Man, do I know this place?
It's one
Okay,
of
I'll rephrase that. Do I know if they serve a lot of booze at this place? That is literally going to be the decider right here.
It
Charlie?
totally sells beer after hours, after 2 a.m. They put it in mugs so the cops can't tell.
This is one ghetto ass Nifty 50s.
Charlie, just for clarification purposes, what's the name of this place?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, we're good.
All right, we'll come back to that.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
So apparently they do serve beer. So continue.
Buy me a beer. How long do you think this is going to take?
Oh, where are you right now?
I'm at the office. I'm kind of fishing up a few emails here.
If you get a cab now, you'll be here in about 20 minutes. And the fare will only cost you about
$75.
$10.38.
Okay.
Or you could do your own thing. I mean,
No.
I wouldn't want to impose.
It's fine. Like I was sending Roz an email anyway. I'll meet you guys there, and I'll put the phone down. Sorry, hang up.
Oh, I was going to be like, hello.
Yeah. She does that thing that always happens in your. I don't know if you guys do it or not. Just put the phone down without saying goodbye. She's doing that.
Yep. Well, she's going to meet us at the diner. And he looks at the girl. How old is this girl, by the way?
17.
17. See, I'm more back into my chippery mood. I kind of get on my knees, like try to get on her level, kind of deal. And
She's
it's
17. She's not short.
well,
Tall,
I would
She's
like to
taller than
say
Charlie.
I'm like 5'11",
She's about 5'7".
5'7". So I kind of
You would look down a little bit, picture.
and be like, so what kind of waffles do you like?
Man, you're strange.
I get that a lot.
Apparently.
He dances at crime scenes, but that's not relevant, really.
Crime scenes? What?
We'll talk about it inside.
Okay, so he's going away very soon. Where do
Right.
you want that? And she points to the human that he's kind of holding, and the guy's kind of freaking out, but at this point he's just beginning to accept the fact that he's going to be carried wherever he's going.
Wait, oh, is he awake?
Yeah, he's awake. I mean, the thing just basically grabbed him, picked him up, and then brought him over. Didn't knock him out, didn't do anything else, but just
I'm
grabbed
gonna
him.
knock him out.
I jump in front of Charlie. Now hold on, that's not nice. That's not respectful. Please.
He'll wake up in like 15 minutes.
I look at the alley cat. If we let you down, will you promise not to run? We're going to a diner. Do you want some food?
Are you talking to her? Are you talking?
I'm
sorry. I thought you were talking to Charlie.
No, I'm talking to the alley cat. I'm saying if we put you down, will you run? We're going to a diner. Would you like some food?
I just want to go home. Let me out of here. Come on. This is ridiculous. What is this thing holding me?
Unfortunately, you went after a child. Innocence in its purest form. I can't abide by that.
Do you see this thing that she's walking with? This is not.
I pointed back. Do you see what I did?
Yeah, I saw what.
I put my hand to his face and go. Shh. You're hungry. You're going to come with us. You're going to tell us what you know, and then we'll let you go.
Listen, the blind chick was talking about knocking me out. Knock me out. Seriously, I would much rather than hang out with you crazies.
And I look at Charlie. See, he wants to be knocked out. Let him stay awake as we carry him to the diner.
And then I'd be like, okay, we'll just give him to me.
And he's just like, and he, as he's kind of dangling there, he just kind of put his hands up and says, oh, shit, no, god damn it. Miss Sable's going to hate this.
I'm sorry. Who is that? Miss Sable?
No, I'm not talking to you.
Unfortunately, you just let the cat out of the proverbial bag, my good man.
Meow.
And I kind of give a high five to Rosalind.
Yes.
And I say, you will tell us what you know about Miss Sable.
I'm not saying a word. Just knock me out. That'll be better. I'll end up dead if I say anything. And he acts like a child. He puts his, since he's being dangling like this, he puts his arms, in front of him, kind of locks his arms, and just kind of.
Before he locks his arms, I'd grab one of his wrists and twist it, and like pull it behind him, and I was like, "Tell us now, or else."
Not saying a word. You can break my arm. She's gonna kill me if I say anything.
Can I roll?
Guys.
Can I make a roll? Can I make a?
Do you want to make a roll, or do you want to let Roz talk you out of it?
I really want to convince him.
Okay. Go for it.
Sure, why not?
I want to use fear as a weapon.
Okay.
I guess perfect short range target.
Okay.
And I would say martial arts, but I mean, only for the knowledge of knowing how to hurt someone, not.
Only for the knowledge.
Yeah, but not actually using any martial arts.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Do any of my weakness tags apply?
Do you think
Where
you're
are we?
ignoring the danger that you could hurt him?
Maybe.
And are we somewhere that people can still see us? Like, are we around the corner of the diner? Or are we in front
It's
of the window?
downtown. It's
I feel like we're like walking down alleys to get to the diner.
Yeah, I'm assuming that you're not in a situation that's where
I don't think we're gonna get exposed.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
Okay, so 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna convince. Oh.
Oh.
Yikes.
Why would my power tags are not working properly because it says power of 3, but I only had 2 put in.
Okay. Well, still, you would still.
Yeah, I know I still missed, but I just don't know what's happening. Oh well.
Interesting. I'm not
Can
sure.
move on.
Tell me what he's gonna do before I do something.
Well, as she kind of does this, and he's like, no, I'm not going to say. You hear a crack as she breaks his wrist.
Perfect.
And his and she's not letting go, right? She's. I'm not so.
You want me
Charlie.
to do that to the other arm next?
Charlie. This is what I was trying to tell our new friend here, how maybe it's not great to, hurt people that we need to get a lot of information from.
It's okay. He just learned his lesson.
And
I can help with that.
the young woman kind of looks back at you and goes, I have no problem with violence. Break away.
Oh my goodness. What are
What
kids
is
learning
yeah, I
today?
know. Here.
I can help with the wrist.
And Charlie hasn't let go of the wrist yet.
I look at Charlie and I say, Charlie, let go of the wrist. Please. Please.
Please.
Are there waffles involved?
I will get you all
Fine.
the waffles.
I will eat a single waffle.
Okay, if he eats
It's
a
a
waffle, I'll let
waffle.
go of the wrist.
It's a waffle.
And
Okay.
you hear this scream of pain as she lets go, and it just his arm just kind of flops down, and just his wrist is sort of dangling there a little bit.
Okay.
I'd
I'd like to try something.
give him a pat on the back as I walk away. Like
Okay, and Roz would like to try something. What does Roz
Yeah.
want to do?
Okay, because I would like him to be cooperative. So what I'd like to try and do is fix his wrist.
Uh-oh.
I step in. I'm like, Roz,
What?
do you have any formal medical training whatsoever?
That's not what I'd call it.
I feel like I should assist you.
I would love
With
your
this.
assistance. If you could hold his wrist in just the right way, like it's meant to be, I can fix it.
How does helping in this game system work, Johnny?
You're gonna
Can
add a power tag to it.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip off my torque that I have, which is a little bracelet I have, and I'm going to slip it over the wrist of this alley cat as I hold it steady.
Okay.
I'm going to add the power tag regen from my relic theme, and I'm going to add the power tag medical student.
Okay. So Roz.
Roz is making the roll, but I'm adding those 2 power tags to her roll.
Sure. Okay.
Alright.
Roz, what are you rolling here?
Right. So I guess before I add the power tags, I think the move would probably be change the game.
Okay.
I think that's the closest one.
All right.
Um,
You could. I mean, you could also. This could be. So this is the first time that you're doing this.
yeah.
This could be a take a risk in some ways.
Oh, that's daring riskier outright.
In this particular case, it could in that take a risk, it would automatically or it would succeed if you were successful. Like it would just happen, right?
Oh, cool.
But it could get messy if not. If you change the game and it fails, there's less of a consequence to it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess let's
But it's you could probably gain more out of it.
out of the change the game.
Yeah. Right. You could, like, if you got Because
Yeah,
you've
you're
got the
right.
minimum of 2 coming in from Henry plus
Yeah.
whatever you apply, right?
Right.
That could generate potentially a lot of juice that would allow you to then affect the story in significant ways. Not just fix his arm, but maybe change, inflict a status tag on him to change his opinion of you, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay, so I have Henry's help. I think reverse effects.
Okay.
I'm reversing the effect of the break.
Okay.
How about ward off deterioration, which is kind of the general like heal-y thing that she does. I think in this case, I'm doing it really quick too. I'm trying to, especially at the very least, keep it from getting worse from like moving and stuff. And then I'm wondering if anything else can be applied. Would I have survival instinct, which I think is more personal for me, but I don't know if that would help in repairing anything. Or
it might help if you knew how to. You would set a bone. I mean, in this particular case, you're trying to do something, and you're trying to heal him.
Yeah.
I think that the medical experience of Henry is going to
doing that. Great.
Be doing that part. Right?
Then how about to keep him from like moving around and stuff? Maybe persuasive aura could come into it, like trying to keep him like Henry's keeping the arm still, but trying to like keep him calm too.
Okay.
And I am going to
You're going to what?
I was going to describe how I go about this.
Okay, well, I do want to add into this real quick.
Yeah.
I think Beacon applies. Because this is an ability that would attract, cause you to flare up and attract attention, I think.
Yes, I intend for it too, so yes, totally.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that gives me a total power of 4 then.
Okay.
1, 2 from... Oh, no.
5.
Yeah, that's right. 4 because of the 1 weakness.
Right, okay. All right, that works.
Okay. Whew. So do you want me to describe like what it looks like before or after I roll?
Sure, describe what it looks like before.
Okay. So Roz carries a little something strange in her purse. It's something like she reaches in, and when she pulls her hand out, she's bleeding from her hand.
I look at Roz and I'm like, I'm sorry, but I can't allow you to touch my patient with an open wound. You might have some kind of blood disease.
I really don't. In fact, you could say I have the opposite of a blood disease, Henry. Just trust me. You see, like, her hand, it's not just like regular blood. It's almost like it's giving off a faint light as it opens up.
Right. Well, fine. Just be very, very careful.
I always am.
I'm going to have to reset this bone. And I look at the Alley-Cat. I'm like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you that this isn't going to hurt, because this is going to hurt a lot. Like, a lot. Like, you wish you would have cooperated with us a lot.
He's in a lot of pain, so...
All right. Then I place my hand over his wrist.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to roll it now. Great success. 14.
Jeez. Okay, so that is a minimum of 2. So that means that one of those will count as 2. So that means you get 5 juice.
Cool.
And you can do lots of things with that 5 juice. I do want to say something interesting. The next time that you choose to use your blood, I want to invoke blood, sweat, and tears, or have you invoke blood and sweat and tears as your weakness tag. Because
is it a weakness if I'm using it or if I'm not using it?
Well, your blood is important regardless, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's, I mean, it implies that you're weakening yourself just a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So it'd be a 13 then.
Well, no, but no, you don't. We're not going to apply it now. It's just next time. I would. If that's the particular element, it's not just that you're a beacon. There's also that that element
Right.
of you're using a part of yourself to fix him or to change the situation. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right,
Cool.
so you've got 5 now.
Yay!
So what are you doing with your 5?
So many things.
So many things.
I'm a little scared. Charlie, stay out of this.
I did actually.
Let's see. Any other? So I know that I want to, because the idea of this was partly to fix his wrist and partly to get him to cooperate with us.
Sure.
So some combination of all that.
So it sounds like the first thing is that you're going to inflict some sort of status on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
That,
Cooperative.
right.
Yeah, I like cooperative.
Or in debt,
Ooh.
In debt.
Indebted.
Indebted.
as in like, indebted, like
Yeah.
yeah.
You owe me, bro.
Okay, so status 1
Mm-hmm.
of indebted to you for this
Yeah.
guy, right?
Uh-huh.
One of those tags is going to heal him. One of those juices is going to heal him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you've got 3 left. What are you going to do? Remember that this doesn't necessarily have to apply directly to this situation. These things can just, kind of affect everything around you, kind of a situation. So.
Right. So it could also affect. Could it also affect the girl who is witnessing it?
Well, she's already allied with you.
Yeah, she's like tier 3 now, or her status. Yeah,
You could scale up the effect on that with another juice.
I feel like, and then she could be like best friend here.
I've made her my best friend.
Or just like she's really impressed with you.
Or do I want to up him and get him closer, like a higher tier on him, because he's coming into public with us, is what we want. I'd love, like, my ideal version is us all sitting in the diner and having a long chat about what went on at the library tonight. So
Does the prolong the effect apply?
Oh, yeah,
Because, like,
great
you can
idea.
turn him into like a friggin' ally, bestie, friend, whatever. Prolong the effect, it just goes, and then he's our inside man.
Yeah. Brill. Yeah, that's, I want to do on the way to that. Thank you.
Okay, so from indebted, you want from that being a temporary status tag, you want to basically take him to inside man, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna call that inside man status 1.
Great.
So that's another juice. That means you have 2 left. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. 2, because I did 1, prolonged it, and I healed him. And I can keep the other 2 juice, right?
Yep.
Okay, I will hold on to the other 2 juice for now.
And so, as you touch him and you heal him, he immediately has this immediate jerk reaction, and then he looks down at his hand and he's like, "What's going on? I don't." And he's trying to use his, it's like he's playing with the articulation of his wrist, and he's moving his fingers. He's like, "What did you do to me?"
Henry would smack his hand and be like, "Stop moving your hand." And as he starts working in the effects from his relic, his hands start to glow a faint green, not like a ugly green, but like more of a natural green, like not emerald, but like jade kind of deal. Just say, "Stop moving your hand. I need to make sure that this works." And he starts moving each finger to make sure that the muscles are working properly and whatnot.
Okay.
You a believer now, Henry?
I look at her and I say, "Oh, I'm very well aware that these abilities exist, but whether or not your blood was going to contaminate my patient is something that I was unaware of."
Well, it didn't. But I'm glad to know that was top priority in this moment. All right.
At least I didn't break his bone through the skin.
We're
Almost.
all very grateful for that.
Almost. He had it by a hair. It was poking out.
Almost.
All right.
What's your name?
My name's Phil. They call me Philly.
Well, that's a silly name. Why would you be named after a young horse?
Or a cheesesteak?
I love those cheesesteaks.
It's a good name. And what about you? And I turn to the girl.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
You're just asking now? You're strange.
Well, you didn't seem to want to talk that much earlier.
Well, yeah, I wanted to get out of here, and as you see, the giant kind of begin to fade, and just kind of vanish in sort of a flickery sort of a way. Well, you see what you. Now it's going to be a while before I can call him back. I'm sorry. What was your question again, nosy lady?
Your name?
They call me Lily. And she starts walking towards, down towards the diner.
Great.
I say to myself, oh, that's a nice name. Lilies are nice.
All right. And so we're going to cut to Sethana in the cab. Right? Or have you left MCX yet?
Oh, if we're going in canon time, yeah, I've probably left by this point.
We can jump back to. Is there anything that you needed to do at the office before that?
Yeah, like tell my boss what the fuck happened.
Your boss is not there. Do you send him an email, or do you let security know, or what's the deal?
Her initial plan was to basically email her boss and let him know everything that happened, apart from things that she did. She was going to call security to tell them to get more fucking people here, because there's just been a break-in, and deal with that shit. She would have emailed is it Catherine, the person in charge of the investigation?
At the library, it was Catherine Devereaux. Yeah, Kath.
Yeah, her no. Because this may or may not be linked. And maybe she might want to look into it because of the whole MCX boxes being left at the crime scene, and us thinking potentially it's a setup. It may be a cause of distraction, so she wanted to send that and put it as a personal question mark. But keep the details fairly brief as to not state exactly what happened or exactly who was involved. And then she was going to send an email to Roz to let her know everything that was going on and that she was going to go get wasted. And then we got interrupted with that, so she removed the last line, and then she'd be in the cab on the way over.
Okay. And so as you arrive at, what's the name of this place? Charlie, did you come up with a name for this place?
Rambunctious Rabbit.
That works.
The Rambunctious Rabbit Diner.
Yep.
Yeah, it's for like young, hip, but like it's like a shitty ass diner.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna call it the Double R Diner.
No.
The Railroad Diner.
No, just the Double R Diner because it's the Rambunctious Rabbit. You walk in and you find the five of them sitting around a large table with a booth. What's in front of each of you that you're eating there, Henry, Roz, and Charlie?
Belgian waffles with whipped cream and strawberries.
Yeah, mine's got a little chocolate sauce and
I
doused in syrup.
I have a single dry whole wheat waffle.
And a set of pancakes.
and the actual meal, which is pancakes with whipped cream and walnuts and a little bit of syrup.
You better eat that waffle first before you can eat your pancakes. It's like veggies before dessert.
Fine, I will eat this disgusting pastry, whatever this is.
And so Phil, or Philly, is just kind of there nursing a cup of coffee, and every once in a while you see him kind of work with his his wrist a little bit. And Sethana, as you're walking up, you see him kind of doing this, and you see him glance over at Roz, and when she's not looking, and when she looks up, he kind of like grabs for his cup of coffee again. You notice this dynamic.
I look over at him and I'm like, hey, I didn't hurt you that badly. Stop being a baby.
He scoots over. He kind of a little bit, right?
Wait. I'm sitting, so we're in a booth, right? So I'm sitting like, but can I be sitting?
The center?
I would like to be sitting, right in the middle of everybody. When I see Sethana, I want to wave at her like, I made 2 new friends.
Great job. I order a beer.
Well, there's actually a beer waiting for you because they were kind enough to have a
Oh,
beer.
yes, they did. I sit down and I take the beer. Like, right, okay. Look, what the hell? What's going on?
And just to finish the scene, in front of the young Asian woman Lily, you see the biggest like amount of food, and she is just, kind of eating, and she's, kind of talking, while she's eating, and she's just kind of rambling about crap. Like, she's talking about everything, and she's just kind of talking your ears off. And when Sethana walks up, she's like, "What? Who are you?" And she's just, digging into the eggs and trying to, get more ketchup on her eggs. Who's this?
Sethana, this is my new friend Lily, and my new friend Philly is. Oh my gosh, that's cute.
Lily and Philly.
You can see that the fork and the with a bunch of egg and a little bit of ketchup dripping off of it. Lily looks over and looks at you like, and continues to eat.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay, give me the down low. Keep it fairly short.
All
We
right.
make friends.
That's
Some of us
really
are
cool.
better at making friends than others, or we just have different tactics.
Okay, Henry, a little bit more detail on that.
Henry right now is like a kid. He's not picking up the waffle. He's like, face is leveled with the plate as he like starts inching towards the waffle, and he looks up at Sethana. Yes, Philly runs with the alley cats. The alley cats tried to abduct Rose. Rose has
Lily.
a giant. Right, Lily. Lily has a giant incorporeal golem.
That would explain the footsteps, right?
Oh yeah.
Charlie
Oh,
broke.
He's not a
his-
golem. Hans is not a
What is he?
golem. And
Who? Sorry?
Hans.
Hans.
Eating. Hans is not a golem. I don't know what you're talking about. He's more than that. He just keeps eating.
What would you call Hans?
Hans? Oh, sorry, carry on.
Hans?
Charlie broke Phil's wrist. We just recently patched it up, and now I'm stuck eating a whole wheat waffle. It's whole wheat, so it's very healthy, but it's a waffle, and it's kind of like it's like a kick in the nards. You don't know whether or not you have to poo or not.
I'm sorry.
Lily
you
looks
don't
over
know.
at Henry. You're gross.
You're right.
And she
Right.
just keeps eating.
Okay, so mystery solved on kind of what happened, at least the broken ribs part at the the giant punch mark, right? On the bodies at the library.
Yes, they were indeed punched by Hans. We don't know why the alley cats are going to apprehend Lily. As he says this, Henry would reach over to Phil's plate and pull it away from him. But I'm pretty sure Phil here is just about to explain that to us.
Phil's only got a cup of coffee in front of him.
He takes the
And
coffee.
he is holding on to his cup of coffee.
It's the awkward moment where I'm holding on to the coffee, tugging it away.
Hey, let him have the coffee, all right? Hey, Phil, is it?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? You've met these people. I don't know exactly what they did to you, but I'm fairly certain they're probably going to keep doing it. So why were you trying to abduct this girl? Were you at the scene? Like the
And-
library thing earlier?
And as you point to Lily, you notice that she's standing up.
Why?
What? No, we're not talking about the library. I'm not talking about the library. And she begins,
Lily, we really need to know about the library.
listen, thank you very much. I'm not talking about the library, and she's starting to move off.
I'm gonna
She's
get up
in
and
the
just.
middle of the booth.
Yeah, I was gonna say
No,
like I think
you're
it's
not. She's on the
was-
end.
no, because I'm on an end, Henry's on an end.
I was doing this around Lily and Philly.
Well, then she's getting up and climbing over the booth and climbing out. Right? She's starting to do
Girl.
that. Right?
Good girl. Lily, can you just please sit? Can you finish your? There's still so much food here.
I'm not talking about the library. And
Hey,
and
guys.
Philly finally looks up at her and says, "I wouldn't either. Not with the way you hurt all my friends."
That's a fair point, Lily.
I didn't think. No, I'm not. I'm not doing it. She says, and she's. Listen, I appreciate what you did for me. Thanks for the meal. And she starts to jump over the booth.
I would get
Being that
in
I
front of
probably
her.
arrived at the end, I'm probably sitting at the very. I'm not even probably sitting even in the booth.
Right.
So I'm just gonna like pretty much just bar her getting out. And I
Hey,
assume
come on.
she's
Let me
getting out fast.
buy. You know what? I'm not talking to you. This is ridiculous.
Hey, calm down. Look, we're not. We just want to know what happened. I mean, clearly you two have gone through some shit that involved a giant golem or whatever.
Don't
but
talk
you're
about
not gonna
Hans that way.
I'm sorry, Hans. Clearly, Philly, Lily, and Hans all went through some really crazy shit at the library, but you're not going to get away from your problems by running. So, I mean, we have skills here. Clearly, these guys have some sort of weird skills. You have Hans, Philly's, well,
Oh,
I think
he's
he's
a
just
normie.
Phil, actually. Oh, okay, fair enough. So why don't we just take a minute and let's just try and figure out what's going on, because we may be able to help you. But if you run away, you're never going to know. You're just going to keep running forever, right? So why don't you just sit down,
I just
have a bit more to drink.
look. Every time, and she gets really frustrated. She just and for a second, as she kind of screams a little bit, she you see her kind of glow a little bit, and you see an outline of Hans just sort of behind her, and it's just really kind of strange. It's just no.
Hey. Calm. Look, it's a problem you don't want to talk about it, because you could just probably show me.
What do you mean show you?
I look around. Is there anyone else in this diner apart from us?
There are a couple of other tables occupied. Far end, there is definitely 2 beat cops, enjoying a meal at the counter. There's a couple of wait staff, and there's a cook behind, and she's incredibly busy behind as she's kind of serving, and the 2 wait staff are kind of doing their thing. But otherwise, yeah, it's
Okay. Like, I can... Look, we all know we're not, well, like Phil. I have a thing where I can share and feel people's worst pains and grief. So maybe you can just show me instead. And I put both my hands out to her for her to take them so that we can do the shared grief thing.
I got. All right. And she puts her hand into yours.
Cool. I want to do the shared grief, but rather than me giving it to her,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to feel and sense and see what she did at the library.
Okay, so is this an investigate role, or is this a change the game kind of a role, or is this the first time you're doing it in that way, and then?
I think this is the first time she's doing it that way. She's not. I don't think she's 100% sure she can do it, but she's going to give it a try.
I feel like that's almost like taking a risk then. Because
Yeah, I'll take that.
It's a situation where it could go horribly wrong.
Yeah, this could majorly backfire.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, I'll go for it.
All right.
Cool.
What power tags are applying?
All right. I think shared grief for 1.
Okay.
I think I think I want to go with drinking hall. Mainly A, because she's wasted, or she's getting, well, she's about to, well, she is pretty drunk.
Okay.
And two, like when you get to that level of being really drunk, you sometimes have those deep and meaningful conversations. I feel like she's possibly having one of those right now.
Okay.
Just like that kind of like level of sharing.
Okay.
So I think maybe that applies too.
Do her, does her status of allied help with this?
That only works with you right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
No,
And given that Seth Anna just showed up,
Yeah.
she's not even really sure how Seth Anna's connected to all of you.
Cool.
I don't think Sathanas knows how to connect to all of them.
Well, I mean, this is a pretty uncomfortable situation for everybody. I think at this point, I mean, the relationships are starting to form, right? But,
I think, I think those might be the only two that I can really properly apply. The others would be like massive stretches. So.
Okay. Do you think weakness-wise, people find you terrifying or emotional scar comes into this?
I think Scar.
Okay.
For sure. I think Scar for sure.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Does she find me terrifying? I don't know. Just a random chick that turned up like, here, show me your pain. Yeah, okay, maybe Terrify applies.
Well, so either or. I'm okay with either or, but it will determine if there's a negative effect here.
I think probably Scar for Seth for sure. Because it's like, I don't remember this, but yeah.
All right, let's do that then.
So that's one then.
Okay.
I'm not sure how the fuck this works, but sure. Take a risk. Here we go.
All right. So I get to offer you a hard bargain or an ugly choice.
I like these. Carry on.
I'm going to go with the ugly choice first. I'm going to give you an ugly choice first because that one came to mind almost immediately. This will work, but it will have a consequence of blowing away the allied status 3 tag that she has with Roz, or you will share something so emotionally traumatic that it will invoke a status on her in a negative way. That's the ugly choice. The hard bargain is it works once, but it's not going to work again in this way for the rest of the session. Like you can't invoke this again, during this day or whatever, this like evening.
I can't invoke this way of using that tag or event tag.
Right. It's damage. It's damaging. It's like it's so traumatic for you because you're taking in something without giving it back, without the fear, without the right. And that's the emotional scar kind of element of this, is that you're used to invoking this and then getting that information in return. This is none of that like evocative state. This is just you accepting whatever it is.
All right, I'm going to throw this out to the table with a little bit because I don't feel that she would probably be using this again in this session, so I don't think that's a hard choice to come out with because I don't see me using it again in the next short amount of session that's left.
I mean, it's like burning a tag, right?
In a lot of ways it is, but
kind of, yeah.
Also remember that you could use it on Phil as well.
Yeah, but
there's that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, that's there. I mean...
I think I have Phil under control.
Yeah, I think we can get it out of Phil other ways.
I think that Roz
that's my gut feeling anyway.
And Henry have worked really hard to make sure that Philly feels okay here, so...
Yeah. Well, I mean, just like, if Phil, starts acting up again...
You've got that precedence of breaking his arm, so you guys are pretty good. Not that she knows that, but you're pretty good.
Or I could break his leg.
I kind of want to go with the keeping the allies tag because I think we need it, but invoking a negative on her.
Okay.
Because that would affect.
I'd rather not.
Yeah, because I think it will affect her relationship with Seth Anna and nobody else. So I don't think it will break the group so much. We need her as a group, but I think that might be also a bit more of an interesting one.
Yeah.
At least that's my feeling.
So you're going to take the hard or the ugly choice and invoke a status tag on her.
Yes, sure. Let's go for it.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So this is as you take her hands in yours, and you ask her to share. Right. There is a moment of flashing. Right. And you just get bits and pieces. Right. You see her showing up to the library, and she is looking for somebody in the library. She's looking around. She can't seem to find this particular person. She's exploring all of these rooms, right? But you're getting flashes of it, right? You're walking into this one room off to the side. You're walking into the restroom. You're walking into the upper sort of balcony area, right? And then you see somebody sort of in the center, kind of just reading a book. And when this person kind of looks up, you flash and you see that it's Alexis. Right, you recognize her from the publicity photos that you've seen of her in the past. Right, the next thing you flash on is the start of a conversation as Lily's really upset. And it's at that moment as she's really upset that a bunch of alley cats kind of break in, and some of them are wearing the jackets, the alley cat jackets. Some of them are wearing MCX gear, like uniforms, like delivery uniforms and that kind of a thing. And so there's about 6 of them. And at that point, Iron Hans kind of appears as she screams for him. It's from one moment of she's yelling, there are all these people here, and the next thing is Hans is here, and he is just moving in and beginning to attack. And you see him punch one of the guys, sending him off towards the right. You flash again. You see another punch towards the left. You see one running towards the back as 3 of them are, 3 of these alley cats have grabbed onto to Alexis, and they're escorting her out of here. Right? And so Lily is kind of frantically trying to chase them, but Hans is going off to that 3rd guy and crushing him in the back corner. And she's trying to decide what she's going to do. And Alexis and the 3 alley cats are gone. And she's screaming and she's on the ground, and Hans just comes over, picks her up, and carries her out of there.
Okay, I would like a clarification. 2 things.
Sure.
Did I see who she's having a conversation with?
Alexis.
Okay. And secondly, was Alexis being escorted or bodily manhandled out?
They had their hands on her.
Okay, so it's definitely not her will. Okay,
That's not
I just
clear.
wanted to double check that.
That's not clear.
Oh.
But she was definitely, they had her hands on there.
Did I pick up anything about the conversation?
No. It was all emotional flashes.
Yep. That's fine. Yeah, that's cool.
What do you show her that inflicts the status?
Ooh. I want to show her. I want to show her Sethana killing her stepfather. You look confused.
I'm not confused. I'm shocked that you would want to show her that particular memory.
I don't want to show her, but you said that she shows her something horrible, and I don't think she should have control over that.
Okay.
Because it's not something she knows how to do yet. So, yeah. And you said negative. I want to put the negative out there.
Okay. And so what kind of a status do you think that inflicts on her? Traumatized?
Yeah. For sure.
So you're holding on to her, and her hands are in yours, and you're holding on to her, and you're getting this, and you're like, and then you kind of you shake for a second, and it's like an automatic response that you send something back to her, and immediately you feel her hands try to pull it, and you hold on tight, and when you open your eyes, you kind of look, you can see the petrified, you let go, and she runs towards the restroom. She just And you can see that she's visibly upset, and she just kind of runs into the restroom. And Philly kind of looks around. I'll tell you guys whatever you want to know. I'm not. No.
I know you will, Phil. And I pat his head.
What a good boy.
Henry
And he kind of leans into you, starts purring.
Henry kind of, with a
You said
stern
it.
look, says, "Miss Sable, tell me who she is. Where can I find her?"
And why you were... Oh, we don't know that information yet. And why you were at the library.
Well, hold on. Does Sethana share
Right.
her information before you guys start to kind of pester?
We know he's at the library though because he comments about it.
That's why I said the library. That's why I didn't say any more specific of
Yeah.
what Sethana learned.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm asking before this line of questioning starts, right?
Yeah.
Does she know what she shared? Does she feel that pain as well?
Absolutely. I think that is the consequence of doing this. And I think eventually when this evolves into a real power tag, evolves as a real part of your character, I think you'll have much more control of that and be able to not show. But at this point, yes, you'll be able to consume without, hurting. But at this point, yeah, it's you feel the full brunt of it because it was almost like an emotional response. At least I'm taking it. If that's not the way you're seeing it, then describe it to me differently. But it seems like it's an emotional response to using that same ability. But like it was like wow, like whoa, almost.
Yeah.
So.
I think at the moment she's probably might be a bit too stunned to speak of her own accord, because she probably hasn't thought about this. Well, she probably has thought about it off and on for quite a while.
Right.
She is getting kind of laced, but it's probably not something she's seriously thought about, that particular memory, that particular feeling at the time.
Okay.
For a really long time, like probably the other side of almost decades plural.
Right.
So yeah, I think she unless anyone speaks, I think she might be too stunned to form words of her own accord right now.
All right, so again, throwing it back to the table then. Are you guys jumping in and questioning Philly, or are you going to express anything towards Sethana?
Is she sitting? Is she sitting with us? Like on the outside, is she just not moving?
I kind of imagined her sitting literally at the end of the booth. Like you have the table and you have the booths.
Yeah.
She's basically sitting on a chair at the end of one of those, and she just put her hands out, and she's basically probably almost in the same pose, just like wide-eyed, like what the fuck.
Well, then I would care.
I want to do that thing. Caring. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm just observing her for now.
Okay. And so the questioning begins.
Right. You will tell me who Miss Sable is and where can I find her?
Are you a cop? Because the way that you just focus in on things like you're a cop. I mean, you seem like a cop. I don't want to talk to a cop. I mean, I'll tell you whatever, but I don't want to talk to a cop.
You could say that I'm a hunter of some sort.
Ugh.
I don't even know what that means. I mean,
It means
what
he
does that
likes
even mean? And he looks over at Ross.
He's good at finding people or information that he wants, and he can be tenacious, so we should probably
He just
talk
gets what
to
he
him.
wants.
Okay.
So Miss, and I lower my voice, so like my friend Henry was saying, Miss Sables, who is she, and what were you doing in the library tonight? Or what was your gang doing in the library tonight? Scratch.
We do odd jobs for Miss Sable. I mean, that's.
What kind of odd jobs? And I would put my kind of like a little intimidating. I'd put like my folded up cane on the table.
And he kind of looks at it, looks at you, looks at it. You're not really blind, are you?
I'm completely blind. I'd like take. Where are my glasses? I don't know. Take.
We do odd jobs for Miss Sable.
Odd job is the occasional lawn clipping or taking out the trash. You went to abduct a small child, so you will tell me.
She's not a small child. You saw what she has. I mean, look at her. She's
Regardless, that is a child.
She's young. She's a minor, so
she's 17 years old. We know all about Lily Chow.
Minor.
There it is.
Nailed it.
Yep. So Miss Sables wanted you to go after Lily Chow.
When she heard she was at the library tonight, hell yeah.
And why did she want to go after Lily Chow?
Is it because you guys took Alexis?
I don't know anything about that. And he leans back. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anybody named Alexis. I know that there was some of our cats were at the library tonight. I know that Miss Sable has crossed paths with Lily Chow in the past. I mean, I just know that she's on a list. She's on a list of people that Miss Sable wants.
And do you know why she's on that list? Be a good boy, please.
And he kind of... I don't know the details, all right? I just do odd jobs with the cats, all right? I have a day job. I just know that with this particular girl, there was a couple of other people that were also involved. Miss Sable, she's got a score to settle, and that's what these people are on this list for. I don't know why. I know it's been a couple of weeks since she put this list together. I was told that we're going after this particular girl and to be extra careful.
Charlie, can you do me a really quick favor?
Yeah.
Can you go into the bathroom and make sure she's still there?
Yeah, I'd get up. I'd whip out my cane, kind of like intimidating towards like Philly.
Okay.
And then I'd get up and be blind to go to the bathroom.
I look at Philly and I said, have you ever met Ms. Sable in person?
Yeah, she's one scary chick.
Good. Now, where was the location that you've met her?
Man, I'm not giving you...
Okay, rephrase. Where were you supposed to be taking Lily?
I'm not... Look, I will give you as much information as...
Slam my hand on the table. I had a way of getting information from her, and I'll point over to where the other blind chick is wandering off to in the bathrooms. Like, I will do the same to you. Where were you supposed to be taking her or calling?
There's this bar in Tinseltown.
Name.
The cats hang out there occasionally. It's no, I can't.
Name.
I can't do it. I'm not doing it. Listen, if I tell you, they're gonna come after me. She's gonna come after me, and she's gonna come after me, like.
I place a hand on the table. It's fine. You tell us, we can protect you.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Look what she did to those guys tonight in the library.
And look what I did to you guys.
Yeah, you didn't kill us. She
You're
almost
right.
killed those guys. And Sable, man, Miss Sable, she's gonna kill all of us. Everybody at this table, if she knows that I said anything. So I'm trying to protect you as much as I'm trying to protect me.
No, you're not.
How the hell do you know, lady?
How do I know? You're terrified right now.
Absolutely, I'm terrified.
Exactly. And you're terrified for your life. So, you're not terrified of people who randomly turn up, especially not me. I just turned up out of fucking nowhere. Of course you don't care.
Look what I just saw you do. You just scared that little girl.
Oh, now
she's a minor.
Now she's a minor. Sure.
All right.
Anyway, name,
Hey,
bar.
I'm just using the words that he uses and points to Henry.
Name, bar.
I think
I am
Philly
not
doesn't.
telling you where that bar is.
Philly, you don't have to tell us anything. Maybe you just go there. Just go about your regular business, and she won't know that you've told us anything.
And what happens after that?
Maybe we can come to some kind of mutually beneficial relationship. We can protect you if things get hairy, but we don't want to cause you any trouble. Really.
And he leans in and he looks at Roz and he says, how do you protect me from somebody who kills people like it's nothing?
Well, you could give me details on how she kills people, and then I could give you specific details.
I've only seen
on
the
how.
bodies, and they're
What do
bloody,
they look like?
and they look like an animal tore them up. I've had to clean up some of those bodies. Some good friends of mine. So you're damn right. And he looks over at Seth down. You're damn right. I'm scared, but I'm also scared for anybody having to face that. That's just. It's crazy. I don't know. It's like she takes a razor blade to them and just kind of slices them up.
All right, well, you're not wrong to be scared, Philly. It's okay to be scared. Can I ask you one more thing about the library tonight?
What?
So the other woman who was there, Alexis, we know from another of your members that they were hired to break in there to find something for the Walker Foundation. Do you know anything about that? Seems like separate jobs, so it wouldn't compromise you on any information about Miss Sables.
I don't know anything about that. I will tell you. And he really begins to kind of hesitate. And you can see that he's struggling with something.
Yeah.
If I had to venture a guess, they were there for the woman that got kidnapped. And something that she had. I don't know what. But I don't get included. That's inner circle stuff, man. I just, they're very few in the inner circle, and a couple of those guys that got killed tonight. I can't. I just.
Okay. Okay. I think it's best to send Philly about his business in a few. If everyone thinks that sounds peachy.
Yep. I think that's just grand. Fantastic. Wunderbar.
I smile at Henry.
So you just want me to go there?
Yeah, I want you to do what you would normally do.
Well, right now I'd go home and get some sleep. This has been a hell of a night. But I guess I bet I will be the only one kind of surviving. I guess I gotta go report.
I look over at Roz. What if we send Lily with him?
Oh, whoa.
Whoa. Interesting. Henry.
Got a beta trap. You walk in with Lily. Lily can obviously handle herself. We can provide backup.
Okay.
They know what Lily looks like.
We think so.
Are you asking Philly?
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave us a picture. And he pulls out his phone, and you see a picture of Lily Chow.
Mhm.
And it is a school picture from a private institution. And she's clearly wearing a uniform, and her hair is well groomed, and she's got really tasteful makeup on. She looks nothing like the young woman that you just saw.
Yeah. We throw them a bone. Lily Chow walks in.
You
We
do
walk in.
realize that they're going to kill me then, right? And he looks at Henry, and he looks at Roz.
Why? You were just doing your job.
One of me bringing in her, they told us that she was special. Unless you want to knock her out, there's no way it's going to be believable. And they're going to get suspicious.
We could talk to her, because talking to people in a friendly way, as we're all learning, is often a good start. Oh, Charlie's not here to benefit from my wise words.
Mhm.
I say that aloud.
And he looks over to the I'm going to need something stronger than this. These people are crazy. And the
I
waiter
pull out
comes.
my hip flask and just top his glass up. I reach over, grab the coffee, have a sip, and pass it back to him.
And he starts to drink it down just completely.
This is the good shit. This is the good shit.
And he's
This is your moment of redemption, Philly. I'd hate to see what would become of you come wintertime.
what the hell are you talking? What?
I don't even know that. I don't know the answer to that.
Look, if you help us out, maybe karma or something will reward you. I don't know.
All right.
But you are seriously going to want to get out of this job.
I'm going to want to get out of this city pretty soon. You're crazy. I didn't sign up for this. I signed up for a little fun, a little, shenanigans. Maybe the odd job that made me an extra grand or two. This is ridiculous.
Going after minors, weapons, guns. He gives a sniff of the air. You reek with taint and evil.
That might just be the whiskey.
You are weird, dude. Listen, I trust her. I don't trust you. And she gave me good alcohol. I don't trust you. And he points at Henry. But I'll do whatever.
Look,
just wanna
we'll
get home
protect
tonight.
you going in and we'll protect you coming out. And then, I don't know, as I said, something may smile on you, may get out of here. Okay. But
We can take the next step once our other new friend is back with us.
yeah, I might not want to be too close to her when she comes back. I think she might got a little freaked.
All right, so we're gonna have Charlie coming back with Lily in tow. How are you treating Lily, Charlie?
Friendly?
Like, what is friendly for Charlie? She's been a little. I don't want to say cold, but she's been a little intense previously. So, what is friendly for Charlie?
I have my hand on her back, escorting her back to the booth. Friendly.
I look over at Lily and I perk up. A smile returns to my face. I'm not stern. Yes. Waitress, a nice cup of hot chocolate for my friend Lily here. She's earned it.
Maybe you'd like another rasher of bacon too. You were scarfing it down.
She looks over at Charlie because Charlie was able to connect with Lily because they actually run in the same circles. Because Charlie has a background with a very famous city official as her parent, and Lily has gone to a number of those fundraisers, and so that's how they knew of each other, and they connected in that way. And Lily looks over at Charlie and says, "How did you end up with these guys?"
let's not talk about it right now. I know that both of us probably don't want to talk about it.
Hey, you know what? All right, fine. And as she kind of walks, she kind of skirts around Savannah. So, sorry about that. That was kind of scary.
It's okay. I was just telling Philly it's perfectly fine to be scared.
And Philly kind of perks up and says, listen, you have no idea. I'm sorry for anything that my friends did to you tonight. You have no idea what we're getting into. And you can see that the alcohol is beginning to take its effect on Philly, and he's loosening up a little bit.
Aw, Philly.
I look over at Lily. Lily, how long will it take you to call Hans back? I know you were worried about, time constraints and whatnot.
It varies. It varies from time to time. I call him. I need him. He's, if I have questions, he has answers. If I need protecting, he protects me.
We're going to use you as bait. That is why I'm asking. I'm going to be.
What the hell are you even thinking?
Shh, it's okay.
Why are you using me as bait? Where did I become the little fish on the hook? When am I the carrot on the stick? What the hell's going on here? First, I get these guys.
We wouldn't ask you if we didn't know about Hans already.
Oh my god, I can't. This.
Lily, someone is after you, and they're going to keep sending people after you.
I'm pretty aware of that. I've been fending them off for the last couple of weeks.
So help us stop those people.
It's not that simple. You listen. You're just getting involved. All right. I got this. All right. I just need to find Alexis. I need to talk to Alexis, and then everything gets better.
This could help us get to Alexis.
What? Baiting me on a stick? Tell me how that is going to help.
Getting answers from some higher ups in the cats.
Miss Sable.
Oh.
She's after you.
Yeah,
and
no shit.
And special people like you. So, by helping us, you would stop future attacks on these special people.
So I'm gonna tell you a little secret.
Oh, I love secrets. Go ahead. I'm all ears.
A couple weeks ago, I did stop her. All right? I put her down. And then some weird old guy kind of started hitting on her and took her away, and it was really strange. I don't even want to think about what the two of them did. All right? It was gross.
Who is this old guy? Describe him.
I think he said his name was Cal. I mean, it's just, it was gross the way that he was like hitting on her, and she was all like into him, and it was just they were like having sex right in that back room. I just don't even what.
Oh no, that was a Johnny hand raise. Do I know Cal?
No.
Do you know Cal? I think that's between Roz and Cal.
Okay, we'll work it out. Either way, I don't react.
Well, so I would put it to Trindane in chat and ask the question: is Roz one of his conquest? Is that
we will have a
conquest?
conversation. We're not gonna let that just be decided by one.
Oh no! I'm not suggesting that it's one-sided. I'm just wondering if he is one of your serial date failures.
We'll talk about it later. I react in my face is a mask.
Your face is a mask, and she's like, "Yeah, Hans put her down. We took care of it. There was this weird kid that was kind of cute. I think his name was Malcolm. And then there was this weird sort of like greasy kind of guy with a mustache. I don't know.
Yeah. What was his name?
I don't know.
Greasy kid? Is that his like power?
It's one of it's going to be a strong Italian name.
she looks over at Henry. Were you reading my mind or something? His name was Geo. Jesus.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be Danny. Damn.
Okay, was there anybody else there? Because I just like collecting names.
There was some weird chick. She didn't tell us what her name was.
Great.
But she was... Listen, I've been running from this woman for a couple of weeks. I've been trying to get information. I think this Alexis woman is going to have information. At least...
Yeah.
Why haven't you gone home?
Things aren't good at home. And you see her get, like, somber and serious for a second.
All right.
And she looks over at Charlie and she says, "You know what it's like to be in the public eye."
You do?
I would just, ignore Roz. I'm like, listen, things aren't, always great in our situations, but eventually you have to go home.
I'd rather live on the streets than go back home.
Well, how about
People are
this?
looking for her. It's better she doesn't go home.
We are discussing very secretive information out in public. How about we all head back to my apartment where it's nice and private?
I'm not going back to your apartment. What are you even...
Okay.
What's so private here? Like,
All right.
Well, the fact that there's 2 beat cops right there.
Well, they're on the other side of the restaurant, so it's a big restaurant. It's a big diner.
Oh, okay. I'm
Imagine
thinking it's small.
Imagine
Like a Denny's?
Bigger than Denny's. Imagine the restaurant from Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
How big that diner is.
Yeah.
Like one end to the other is probably almost a good 150 to 200 feet. So
Are
you
there
got
like old posters and like
Oh yeah, absolutely.
50s style? Okay, cool. I love this place.
yeah, the R&R diner is pretty good.
Yeah.
But so like she's looking ew, no.
No, he didn't mean it. But if you don't,
I looked there like with a poker face, like I'm just trying to be nice. Why is it every time I try to be nice, people just think it's weird? It's
I
really
don't know, Henry.
frustrating me. And when he says frustrating, the red ring in his iris kind of flares out.
I mean,
I
that's-
don't like being frustrated.
Yeah, that's
I'm
probably
just trying to be nice and generous.
not helping your
And-
case.
And he slams the table, and as he slams the table, roots kind of like grow out of it a little bit. I'm just trying to make sure people are safe. It's just something I do. He says as he's just kind of is quiet.
Cool.
Okay.
Everyone here is calm. We're going to all be nice to each other. Lily, you don't need to stay on the streets. You can stay with me if you want. If you're worried about like a dude, it's okay. He's pretty okay though. Just so you know. He's my friend. He's fine. He's fine.
I got a place that I'm crashing. It's okay. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, she has Hans, right?
Yeah, Hans is
Fucking badass.
But he's not always
anyone-
around.
he's there when I
Has
need
any
him.
Meta, have we asked her about being bait yet?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
She
the
said no.
idea has been put on the table. So what we want to help you find Alexis if she has information for you. Some of the other cats in this gang know where she is. They took her.
Yeah,
we
I
need-
was there. I saw.
So we would like to, this may be a path to finding out where they took her and why they took her. If we can get to some of the higher ups in the cats.
She really is just like, she's uncomfortable with the suggestion of, I don't want to be bait. I'll go in there. Hans crushing, he just doesn't. He's got an axe too. He can really do some damage. It's not like it's just hands.
No, we know. We saw. I have pictures.
You actually got him on film? I keep trying to take selfies with him, and he just never appears on the camera. I mean,
does it look like just a bunch of negative space behind you?
well,
We got
here
to
she pulls out her phone, and she's like, "Well, look at this." And each time she's making like silly faces and sincere, and she's just it's just not working. Like there's complete negative space, and you see sky or the skyline or a building behind or a sign. You never see whatever it is that she's intending to take a picture with.
They're really nice selfies.
Well, it could be because it's digital. I have proper film cameras back at my studio. I'm just saying, Lily, we could give it a go.
She looks around at you. Why do you want to help? Why are you? I mean, I can take care of myself. I've got Hans. Why do you want to help?
I never know why I want to help. I just do.
That's not an answer.
Do you and Alexis have anything in common?
No. Why?
I'm trying to wonder why you're all on the same list.
Oh.
Was she on the list?
Well,
do you ask Philly that?
Mm-hmm.
No, there was no Alexis on this. Not as far as I know. The people that she talked about, there was 4. Somebody named Cal, some punk ass kid who Miss Sable didn't have a name for, and then some sweet talking greasy guy who I guess is this Geo character. Malcolm's a new one for me. I mean, thanks. I can use that. I can use that as leverage going back. But there's no Alexis on there.
Those 4 names and Lily's names are on this list.
Well, yeah, Lily's name is on that list. Yeah,
But not Alexis.
So the other 4 and Lily are on the list. Nobody else.
3 and Lily.
Other
But yeah.
3. Cal, Malcolm, Geo, Lily.
Do you have anything in common with those guys?
Are they all special?
Who are you
Yeah,
asking
I'm
that
asking
question?
her. Lily.
Lily.
No, I met them. I met them at the Fogs Brew when that old guy died. We saw Sable walk
Gerald
out of
Walker?
I think that was his name.
And Miss Sables was there.
Yeah, she was scary. And we took, like I said, we took care of her later, and I thought I thought that older guy was gonna take care of that situation. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was taken care of, and then I've been running ever since because she's been sending people after me.
All right.
Do you know why she's been sending people after you?
Because she's special.
Because I was at the Fogs Brew. Because I was there, because I heard her do something to that guy in the back.
Picking off witnesses.
Yeah.
Maybe, Philly, do
Yeah?
the higher-ups in the cats interact with Miss Sables, or are they separate people? Because maybe we don't have to deal with Miss Sables at all, any of us, to get what we actually want.
She's working for someone else.
I don't know. She deals with the inner circle.
She does.
And that's I've only met her once, and she scared the living hell out of me.
All right.
Right?
So
that was when I saw some of her dirty work, her propensity for, cutting these guys up. Yeah. There's a reason I've seen her handiwork. She's scary. She's really, really scary. And Lily pops up and she's like, yeah. She's quite a number. She changes when she gets angry, aggressive.
It happens to a lot of people.
pat Henry's shoulder.
Not like this. Lily looks at you. I'm sorry, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about when I describe this, but she's got stripes on her when she gets angry, and her mannerisms change. It almost looks like she's got claws, as Lily kind of describes this to you.
Henry moves his hand and grabs a glass of water that he was drinking, and the vines that grew up out of the table while he was frustrated have the thorns sprouting out of it. He's like, yes, I don't know. I have no idea what it's like to have abilities that are kind of in sync with your emotional state of being.
Lily looks at you like, this is different. She chooses this. This is who she really is, I think. And the woman that we saw, I don't know. It's weird.
Maybe we should all go in together and just be upfront. If we want to figure out where Alexis is, Lily does not want to be bait, and I don't want to make her. And Hans being on our side would certainly help.
That means putting Lily in danger.
I can take care of myself. Remember, I got Hans.
Yeah,
Besides,
but you don't want to be bait.
Look at you. You're dressed in a suit. What can you do? And she and then she remembers as she kind of she makes that off the cuff statement, and then she remembers, and she's like,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I've never tried that before. I'm sorry.
You need to be careful with that.
I know.
And she takes a sip of her hot chocolate.
Okay, so why don't we just walk in there?
Why don't we?
I mean, Philly, all you gotta do is either point us in the direction or tell us, and then just run for the hills. I guess you
Fine.
figured we can do things other people can't.
Fine. It's the junkyard. It's on Broadway and Tinsel Boulevard. It's on the corner. It's open. It's the junkyard. Just I can't do this. I just no.
I look at the other three and say, is there anything else that we think Philly could help us with?
Yes, give me your jacket.
Why do you want...
Raise my eyebrow at him.
Me your jacket with the alley cat patch on it. He says as the halo in his eyes is more prominent. Red.
He begins to unzip it, and he's like, all right, dude, you whatever, and he just kind of begins to take it off.
I would reach after he takes it off. I'd reach over and grab his hand, and I'd be like, at least we're doing you a favor. You don't need to be an alley cat anymore. And I just squeeze his hand a little bit and pull back.
All right.
Thank you for your help.
Can I go now?
I'm gonna reach. No, you go.
I was gonna walk outside with him.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I reach across, and I'm gonna let him see her through the mist, so he sees her proper form. And I want to do two things.
Okay.
Being that when Valkyries turn up, you have that fight or flight syndrome, and it inspires and terrifies. I want to give him good fortune from the Tides of Fortune, and inspire flight.
Is he peering through the mist just for Sethana, or
that's what she's intending to do?
Yeah.
She has the ability to affect his reality. So I think this is a role of some kind, though.
Yeah.
Okay. This is not the first time I would have suspected that she's doing this.
This is definitely not the first time, no.
Okay, so then that sounds to me like a change the game.
Yeah, for him.
For him. For him. Right, but you're going to change. So this is a change the game, right? Where you're essentially creating story tags for him to be able to get out of this situation.
Yeah.
If it fails, though, I am going to apply a consequence of some kind.
Sure. Why not? Okay.
You break his psyche.
I do know everyone.
What power tags apply here?
Ties of Fortune,
Okay.
for sure. Flight of Flight, for sure.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna say, I don't know. Things, yeah, those two for sure. Probably Guilt as a negative, taking one of those out.
Okay.
And I kind of want to add in either Threatening Monologue or Drinking Whore, because she has been terrifying him quite a lot, and she did share a drink with him.
Okay.
So maybe I can apply both of those.
Sure, that works.
Are you just meta-wise? What are you trying to get him to?
I want him to leave. I want him to be able to get out of the alley cats in a good way. Basically, I want him to leave with good fortune. So it's not anything pushing us, it's pushing him to do something better around the world, because that is kind of Sethana's
right.
thing.
My question, just real quick meta-wise, is that we had put, like, made him like an inside man for us.
The question is, how much longer do we think he's going to be useful? Because he's given us the name of something, and basically
that we're
that's
going.
probably going to get him killed.
Yeah.
He's going to be less useful because Henry took his jacket too.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like any particular, fictional gang, right? There's a certain amount of initiation and, the pride of that comes with earning that patch or that jacket, right?
So I just wanted to make sure, like, I think that both of those things are going to, so we won't have him going forward, but I just wanted to say it aloud to make sure that we knew that.
Yeah.
Well,
that's why I was asking if we could get anything else out of him, because how much more use is going to be? If it's minute, then he may as well go in his way.
Yeah.
And we can have the jacket already. So
the inside man tag is an ongoing tag. It's essentially a permanent tag at this point, right?
Oh, so it could be applied to like something else, not necessarily just the alley cats.
No, in this particular case, well, it's applied directly to this NPC, but he will always be available there. I mean, you could develop this into something more, is what I'm saying.
Awesome. Okay. I understand.
And him going out and finding more good fortune would definitely put it more in our favor.
Yeah. Could I assist her then because she's trying to inspire him? I literally have font of inspiration.
So hold on a second. The ultimate intent here, though, sounds like it's two different things, as has been described. You can either inspire him in the fight or flight situation, and have him run. Like, you can have him go away from this, or you can utilize the inside man thing, extend this, and have it come down to you inspiring him to stay and fight and participate potentially, which could get him killed, but also strengthens the whole inside man kind of a situation.
We could apply fight instead of flight.
Okay.
If we want him to stay, then we could apply fight instead of flight.
I don't necessarily think we need him to stay. I think flight makes sense. I just want to make sure that we don't
I don't think we'll burn the bridge, because he has the insider tag.
Yeah.
Which essentially is kind of making him a thing.
Yeah. Let's get him safe then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Then let's go ahead and roll that.
So that's basically 4 positive, 1 negative, so it's 3.
Yep.
Change the game. Is that what we went with?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't remember, to be honest.
Roz, 11. Okay, so with great success, the first one counts as 2 minimum, and then you get 2 more, so that's 4 juice.
Cool.
Because you've got the 3 power tags plus 1, so that's 4. What are you doing here?
I think ally for 2, if it's not already on there.
Ally.
I don't know what tags he has. I don't really remember.
He has allied 3. No,
sorry. No, that's Lily that has allied 3. He has inside man 1.
1.
Do you want to increase that to tier 2?
One of whatever effect that has to be is a minimum of 2, right, for the first one?
No, you get minimum 2 with a great success. You get a minimum 2 juice, right? So even if you only spent 1 tag, you've got an next additional 1.
Yeah.
We have been playing it such that it always counts as a minimum of 2. So it's the first power tag counts as 2, and then your additional power tags add up. So altogether it's 4. right? So you can do one of those like many things, right? You can you can create a story tag, you can burn a power tag or a story tag, you can give a reduced status. So in this case, you could increase the status here. You could scale up the effect of that. So maybe have him go in and talk, good things about whatever, the doozies to have them. Right. You could also prolong the effect. So Inside Man is a prolonged effect as it is. So maybe you could do something else to that effect. You could hide that effect, so you can make it look like he's not your Inside Man, or you can do any.
So we could up his Inside Man tag and hide that effect from anyone but us.
Right.
So that would be 3.
So wait a minute. So you're going to increase the effect to 2, right?
Yep.
Okay. So that's 1 juice spent. So he's Insider Man 2 now.
And then we want to hide the effect, which I assume is 1. I don't know if we make that.
That's correct. So that's 2 so far. So you're hiding the effect as well. You can bank those if you want to keep them for later.
Hang on, I'm just reading some of the other things. Hang on.
Yep.
Can I remove the negative effect from Lily? If I extend the vision of what I'm doing with this guy to her. So she's seeing the visage of her form as well. Because then Lily may understand a bit more, and knowing things makes things less terrifying. To a degree.
Yes, if you spend both. The 2 bit less juice left. Okay. All right.
I'll agree.
Nice.
So Lily kind of looks at you and says, what did you do to him? He looks happier. He looks more confident.
She kind of shrugs her shoulders and looks at us like, you know what I am. Sometimes that helps.
Okay. All right, so what are we doing? She looks to the rest of you.
I think we're doing one of the boldest and yet probably stupidest plans I've ever heard of. We are walking in there, demanding an audience, right?
Honestly, I mean, after all we've been through in what, 1 night?
2 hours.
Oh my god, 2 hours. I drink more booze.
How horrible could
3
this go? Not really that bad.
What could possibly go wrong?
And
Oh
as
my
you,
god, I know you. You did the face thing. You did it.
as they're having that interaction, Henry just starts walking towards the direction of the junkyard. He's just walking with a mission in mind.
He just gets up and walks.
Yeah, he grabs the jacket because he has what he needs, and he's walking towards the junkyard.
And so, who's paying the bill?
I am.
Oh no. Charlie pulls out a big fat stack of cash and puts a $100 on the table.
And before anyone does that, they would notice that Henry has already put $300 on the table, and with like a "Love Henry" little note on it.
So as you're pulling out your cash, Charlie, and you're pulling out your cash, and you're kind of fiddling with what's in your do you carry a purse, or do you have, is it pockets, or how does Charlie operate and carry her stuff? Does she have a backpack?
Normally it would be a purse.
Okay.
Today it's more like a nice, pants with my high heels and like kind of like a sooty jacket.
Okay, so as you're kind of reaching through, you feel that your phone is vibrating, right? It's letting you know that it's got notifications.
No. You forget when someone calls or texts me, it says their name.
Oh, that's right.
I'm blind and I can't
So when you get it, you get a text. It says, or you as you pull your phone out, it's on really low, but it says, "Mom and Dad, Mom and Dad, Mom and Dad, Mom and Dad."
Do you want to answer that?
Mom and Dad, Mom and Dad.
Guys, just give me a quick second. I'd walk over towards the bathroom.
Okay.
And I'd answer.
Charlie, and it's your dad.
Oh, hi, Daddy.
Hey, where are you?
Oh, I just went to the library. I was trying to get to the whole gala
Wait,
thing.
you were downtown? You were at the library? Are you okay? What?
Dad, I'm fine. I'm coming home right now. I have the driver en route.
That's funny because the driver's with us.
I called him about an hour ago. I went to the diner, and I've been waiting for him. I thought he'd be here by now.
Charlie, I swear. All right, I'm gonna send a car for you. You be there. All right, he's with us. He's taking us home right now. We're gonna send a car for you, Charlie.
I can get a taxi outside right now.
Charlie, I don't feel comfortable with this. I don't like you being out in the city alone this late at night. I'm not happy that you were downtown by the library. I was going to the library. Okay. All right. Well, we're just gonna send you a car. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. It'll be there in 20 minutes.
Sounds good, Dad.
You can't differentiate whether or not Johnny and Sam has had this conversation before.
All right. See you soon, sweetie. Bye-bye. Click.
I hang up the phone. I was like, we could, potentially get a ride, or let's go now. And I'd follow everybody out the door. Or I'd just walk out the door.
Cool. I mean, do you want to wait around for a ride?
Probably best not.
Great. Let's get a cab.
So have you guys left $400 on this table? I need to check that.
No, there's 300.
I was checking to see if Charlie actually put down the other 100 or not.
Yeah, I put down another 100.
How much did the bill actually come to?
It was like $50.
$27.50.
It was like, well, because Lily ordered a lot of food.
Right.
Okay,
she's
so
been homeless.
$37.50. This
Right.
is like the diner you can go to.
I like gonna take the tray or whatever the fuck it is you put the money on. I don't know. I've never eaten in America. I don't know how shit you do stuff. I'm gonna take it to the waitress and point to the beat cops and say, this should cover their meal too. So enjoy the tip.
And if there's any nuns around.
Yeah, if there's anyone else, just not. It's on the rich kids. Pay for the bar. Not bar. Sorry. Too used to where I go. And leave.
We are going to a bar. Isn't that exciting?
Come again. Have a nice evening.
She just pockets the money.
Probably.
All right. So you now have a location. You now are walking out with Lily, and Philly is gone, right?
Yep.
All right. So how are you doing this?
I think I left maybe like right as I got the jacket.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm maybe a few minutes ahead of them.
Okay.
We're gonna be driving.
And they're trying to hail a cab at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah,
City.
the city.
Yeah, it's just, dude.
Charlie's just waving her money around for like.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Don't get a cab.
Oh my god, Charlie. Hand over the money, hand down her arm, and just put my hand up like a normal person or whistle. I don't know how you guys hail cabs out there. I mean, we call them. I don't know what you guys do.
You can call them.
Whatever it is normal out there is what I'm doing.
Normally it's just like a raise of a hand and one tries to.
What, like hailing a bus?
I have a feeling that there would be some sort of form of Uber or Lyft in the city. So
Can we
but
just
I'm not
call an
really
Uber?
sure. Huh?
Can we just call an Uber? I'm calling an Uber. I'm walking out, seeing the money. I'm calling an Uber. All right. Then we get in that, and then we go to the junkyard. We can't see Henry. Too fucking late, man.
Okay. So, do you proceed directly to the junkyard?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So, the junkyard is it's on the edge of Tinseltown. And Tinseltown is the place where a lot of the studios are, a lot of the theaters are. It's sort of like the entertainment district of the city. But it butts up against the blue collar neighborhood a little. And right there's sort of like this weird line of how entertainment and there's like rundown cinemas, there's a couple of revival houses kind of a thing,
like the Nickelodeons used to like serve like the blue collar area.
Yes, and they are open 24/7. Absolutely. And in this particular, you kind of just threw me just for a second there because we have a theater specifically called the Nickelodeon in our town. It's hilarious. And so there is there's a bar, kind of right next to you, and it's kind of a big place, kind of noisy, not too, loud, but it's still pretty lit up, and it's got a bunch of neon on the side of it. It's definitely not Xanadu. And so you kind of all just kind of arrive in the this neighborhood around the junkyard, and it's not really busy outside. There's a couple of patrons kind of loitering around, but otherwise it's just kind of dead. It's not really. There's not a lot of activity right here right now. All the movies are still in, or they're closed down. So, what do you guys want to do?
Henry would definitely walk through the front door of the junkyard.
Are you waiting for anybody else, or are you just walking right in?
He's got a man. He's a man on a mission.
Okay. When you walk inside, it looks like pretty much a rundown bar, but there's a bunch of like movie posters, and there's lobby cards, and there's a couple of video screens showing a couple of different movies. And it's kind of half full. Bunch of guys wearing alley cat outfits or jackets are kind of loitering in the back, playing some pool and watching one movie, and there's a bit of carousing. A couple other people, kind of in the rest of the place. For the most part, though, it's it's kind of dead except for the alley cats in the back.
Henry would walk up to the alley cats and he'd smile. He's like, hello there, fine gentlemen. How are you tonight?
Who the hell are you?
Henry Windsor. Pleasure to make your acquaintance as he drops Philly's jacket onto the pool table. I've had a hell of a night, and I'd really like to get some information. Actually, I would love a meeting with a Miss Sable.
All of them kind of look around at each other, look down at the jacket, and look at you. Who did you take that off of?
Some alley cat that attacked me.
One of them reaches out. Who was it? Grabbing you by the collar.
He says, he looks at him, his eyes flashing more red. I didn't care to ask his name.
Pulls out a switchblade, kind of slowly points it towards you as he's got a grip of you. Are you going to answer my question or not?
Henry kind of looks down and then at the switchblade, and he smiles. He closes his eyes, and when he opens his eyes, the irises switch. His iris is now red with a green halo. And he's like, I'm not going to be held accountable for my actions if you continue to place that knife against my throat.
Can you believe this guy kind of looks over and he pokes you slightly with it in the neck, just enough to give you a little bit of a dabble of Now, are you gonna tell me what's going on? He's kind of holding it like.
He's like, yes, me and my compatriots are looking for Miss Sable. And as he's talking and, just spouting a little bit of exposition, he starts causing a vine to creep around this guy's leg. And as he does, the vine has those razor sharp thorns on it as it starts to constrict. The idea is it's going to wrap around his leg, constrict, and drive the thorns into his leg.
Okay, so this sounds like a change to the game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or is this almost going toe to toe?
I feel like going toe to toe because we're at a standoff.
Okay. All right, so then let's call it that. And what power tags apply here?
We're gonna do obstacles because I'm trying to impede him.
Okay.
Briar weapon because of the thorns. Ebb and flow because I'm reading his movement.
Okay.
And I'm going to invoke seasonal atrophy in the sense that his state of mind would be more ruthless if it was winter. But since it is not, I feel like there's a bit of weakness. It feels like he's holding back.
Okay.
Almost because it isn't winter.
Okay. All right. Roll it. Wow. Okay. So ultimately, what are you intending to do here, right? Because you're going toe to toe with him. He's got you by the grip blade. Mm-hmm. You are creating this kind of vine thing.
It is to assert dominance.
Okay.
To show him that I'm not here to fight, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to.
Okay.
I'm only here for information. And I would like to speak to Miss Sable.
Okay, hold on a second. So you get to choose two out of that, that selection. The first one is you get to intimidate him, right? You're going to inflict the status. Intimidate. So we're gonna say intimidated tier 2. Okay.
Yep.
Second thing, again, gonna point out.
I'm going to counter.
Okay, you're going to counter what he's doing, and you're countering by introducing the thorns.
The thorns towards the artery in his thigh.
Okay,
and that if he.
Okay, go ahead.
He said, "Well, okay. So what is he going to do? The thorn is currently digging into his thigh towards the artery,
right? And so he's like, and he drops the knife and he reaches down as this is happening. He's like, what's going on?"
I said, "You were very smart to pull a knife on my neck, the carotid artery. But here's a little thing. You have another artery in your thigh that if it gets nicked, not a lot of people know how to patch that up."
And that's when the guns start coming out and the knives start coming out as the rest of the alley cats all begin to kind of close in. And you see, hey, you need to let him go.
Henry kind of smiles. "Oh, then now this is just getting fun."
For the love of God, can we have turned up at this point?
I'm waiting for you to kind of insert yourself into the situation.
Really?
Yes.
It's like we're in a freaking Uber. See, that is the perfect line for us to have arrived on, I think.
Absolutely. So
we're here.
Insert
You're
yourself
alone,
into the situation. How do you guys enter?
Oh, I'm sure we had so many ideas of how we were going to do this as a group, but I guess through the front door.
Yeah, just
Would have
walk
been
in.
nice. Doors open. 3 ladies here to party.
Okay.
Well, is this like Charlie doing like Foot of Dean, just kicking the front door down and we just walk in, just like fucking bad now. Let's not do that. Let's just walk in like normal people and we see a bunch of guns and a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
You see, as you walk in, you see that the guns are pulled. You see that there's a guy holding on to Henry's, sort of collar and kind of reaching down and just, starting to let go. As you're like, what's going on? And you see the guns kind of getting pulled out from about 7 or 8 other alley cats, and they're kind of moving in, right? And
is there a clear path between us to Henry?
oh yeah, there's like a bunch of open floor. They're in the back, around a pool table, basically.
Can I cut him off from them with a barrier? like back, starting from him, extending back toward us. Because that would be my first instinct if guns.
You see, well, okay. I would assume that you could do that, yes. My hesitation here is so so as you describe the barrier, right? Every time the barrier comes up, it's like a sort of a thick kind of like defense, right? And there's there's almost like padding between the two of you, right? He's incredibly close to this guy right now, and he's got his vines, kind of digging into his leg. I'm wondering if you throwing up the barrier might cut him off from his vines in some way, thus kind of disengaging that from the situation.
Lauren doesn't like stepping on other people's things, so I guess I'll throw it up around the girls then.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm trying to to kind of
figure out.
Yeah, I'm figure. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Is this a situation where the barrier makes sense, or what?
I think it would. So your barrier isn't passable through? You can't make any holes in it?
It is passable through for people from the inside, as we've established.
And
I think
since
that's
the vines
really
come from Henry, do they not come out and therefore can still pass through your barrier because they're a part of Henry? Could you not do both? Does it have to cut his vines off? Because if they are from Henry, they are of Henry, everything we do is who we are, they not pass through your barrier too?
I'm okay with that if you're okay with that.
I'm perfectly fine with it.
You okay with that, Henry?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let it happen.
We'll
He's
roll
not. He doesn't know that they walked in.
Yeah, and also your first instinct is to protect him. So if your barrier goes up, that's where it's intending to go. And if the vines pass through it, all the better. Just go with your first instinct. Your instinct to protect him. So
yeah, I mean, if he
vines through, they're part of it. They should be fine.
Yeah, I don't even mind if the alley cat that he's next to is in there.
Okay.
That's right. That means he's boxed in with us. So
Right.
Okay.
So
Well then, let's have you roll it.
Okay. Let's see. So barrier. I don't know what else applies in this case. With survival instinct, like quick, it's like a quick response to danger.
Yes.
Okay. And I don't think it's reverse effects, nothing's deteriorating.
Okay.
Don't know that luck applies or inspiration. I think that's it. I think it's just 2. Yeah.
All right. Do you think bacon applies here? Because it's such an emotional reaction and it's defensive?
Totally.
Okay.
Totally. Definitely.
Okay.
I definitely would risk that, and I wouldn't be wasting energy holding it back once I see like guns pointed at him.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay, so the 1. Okay.
I believe in you.
Got this.
Damn it.
Hmm.
Damn it.
Could I help?
A little late.
Like now
Just
I've
out of
seen
curiosity, here,
Oh.
let me switch it over the screen so that everybody can see it because
Yeah.
it's a miss. How would you help, just out of curiosity, before I describe the hard move that's about to go against her?
Ties of Fortune. She's a companion. So I might be able to like either step in there and give her a little bit more of an oomph or a push to essentially do better. That was kind of my only thought, really. I'm okay for it not to work.
I think it would in most cases. I think that because it was such a almost like an automatic response, a reaction to the situation. I think that it hasn't. I don't think we're in a situation where it makes sense, right?
fine.
Okay. So, with that in mind, it's time for a hard bar, or it's time for me to throw a move against you. So, what happens when it fails? What does it look like when it fails?
You asked it as if it's happened before.
I'm asking you to describe what happens and how you react when you try to do something that you've done a couple of times before in this night, and it fails.
I would think it would, like, instead of solidly going like the sure thing, it would kind of wave in a way and ripple and just like fail to make the connections. Like it's just too thin, it's not focused.
Not
because
focused.
You can actually see it.
Okay.
But
all right.
That's kind of the.
And so how does Roz react when that happens?
Surprised and just worried about the situation. It's just mostly surprise at first.
Okay. All right. And so as this is happening, you hear the door open behind you. And Charlie kind of gets a sense of that there's a group of people coming in, and Seth kind of looks around as Roz is doing this and kind of, feels the failure of this. And Seth looks around, and in are walking another 6 alley cats. And they kind of take in the situation and immediately begin to kind of reach for their weapons. And the one in front goes, "What the hell's going on here?" And that's where we're going to end it.
Crap.
We got this.
You're
Totally
facing,
have this.
You're facing about 14 of them right now.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Wonderful.
This
I
is
got
a
all of
really
this.
big drinking hall. It's even set in a drinking establishment. We have this.
Are you sure?
We have bar brawls and drinking, and we have like the freaking wonderful font of inspiration standing next to us. We have the baddest of all vine creepers right next to us. We have this shit on tap, guys. It might just be her booze talking, but I think we have this.
Okay. All right. I was expecting a more of a crazy reaction there, but okay. All right. If you got this, I'll just step back and let you guys kind of handle this.
Yeah, we got it. Don't worry about it.
All right.
It's fun. Yeah, it's good.
All right. Well, we're running a little long tonight, guys. Why don't we just go ahead and do outros? Again, the bot is down for whatever reason. I can't fix it right now, so I'm just going to throw that stuff in chat for you guys. So why don't we start with Valanda?
I played Sethana. That was awesome. Fun. I loved watching you guys kick the shit out of stuff. It was awesome, and I like the Vine thing. That was so super cool. You can find me on Twitter at blood_BTP. The next thing I'm on is going to be possibly tomorrow with Podgate over on the Bloodthirsty_Puppets channel. I'm done. I'm out.
All right. Next up, let's go ahead and do. Let's see, where do things stand here? Why don't we jump down to Sam?
Hi, I'm Sam, also known as Harley's Armory. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Harley's Armory, and I'm also on Encounter Roleplay on Monday mornings with Lauren.
Awesome. Okay. Alex, you want to go next?
Hi, I'm Alex, also known as Zippy Zippo, here on Twitch. I do a bunch of variety gaming, and I always enjoy coming here and playing 6 and 20 Metropolis.
You sound super enthusiastic.
I am super enthusiastic. I am the most enthused. This is like the start of my week of TTRPGs,
Right.
man. And it's always fun. I like the system. The system's great.
System is
Super-
a lot of fun.
A lot of freedom.
Yeah, you guys are super excited in chat. I mean, in Discord, so it's always amazing how passionate you guys are. And last but not least, Miss Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm that Tilty Ginger on Twitter. My streaming schedule is on my pin post on Twitter, so you can see it there.
Is that it?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. And I'm Johnny. This is my channel, Video Store Cowboy. This is 6 and 20 Metropolis. You can, see this every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We do this across 3 channels. It's tonight on VideoStoreCowboy, tomorrow night over on UnMadeGaming, and I'll link that in chat, and then Thursday night over on NotSoSpeedRuns, where we have 2 other crews, and then there's a bunch of people in chat that are, actually a part on those crews. So I will link those in chat in just a second. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and throw a raid out there somewhere. I had this prepared, and then I screwed it up. I apologize, guys. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Hey, guys, hashtag pro streamer. Stop. Does anybody want to... shit, let's just do this. Let's just go ahead and... Say what?
Jin just streaming.
I was going to actually raid Bubbernot.
Okay. I was just, if you didn't know someone.
Yeah, I was just going to say. Anyways, guys, if you haven't followed, follow the channel. If you want to catch up on everything else, you can catch up on YouTube. I will have the bot working next week. Yeah, so here's Mike's channel, Unmade Gaming, for tomorrow night's show. There we go. And then Thursday night is... God, I'm stressing out because of this.
Oh no, come on, sorry. It's about to go. It's about to go.
Bye.
Smooth.
Jesus Christ.
It happens.
No, it doesn't happen. I hate... oh, my God. All right, whatever.
Okay.